Alright, so we're streaming, and now I'm gonna go to Twitch to see if it's working, so... I always forget what I'm doing on this thing. Following, I believe, is what you click on. And then, oh, yeah, it says we're live. Alright. Oh, I gotta tweet it, because, you know, that's what you do. Oh, I gotta tweet it. Alright, I can hear myself, so... Oh, wait. You both say something. Oh, I gotta
Hello.
tweet it. Alright, I can hear myself.
Hello.
Oh, wait. You both say something. Oh, I gotta
Hello.
tweet it. Alright, I can hear myself.
Hello.
Yep.
Man, that is weird having that.
I heard myself.
Like super lag.
Alright, well, I will just, hang out here, and then, yeah. Alright.
I figured out my password. There we go.
Oh, and it should, automatically,
Yeah, it tweets out from the Aimless thing automatically.
No, I mean, like, the archiving. I think I fixed that when I, like, cause before it wasn't archiving for some reason.
Well, they disabled it for people
Yeah,
because they're prepping for prepping for that PS4 Xbox One launch.
servers are gonna get owned.
Twitch is gonna crash. I swear to God.
Yeah.
You know it is. Like, yeah. I mean, if GTA 5 can't handle it, handle that load of like 10 million people, then like what's like 2 to 3 million on the Twitch servers? Oh, I could just retweeted us. Oh well, too late. All right, let me push the record button. Oh, yeah, I gotta see what episode this is, 'cause I did that last week. I was like, oh, I don't know what episode it is.
209, I believe.
All right. You believe Tropical? Because you know. Now I'm looking it up. It's 209. Okay, you're right. I'd like to know these things. Alright, push the button now.
This call is being recorded.
Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 209. I'm Taken Master, joined by...
Traptical.
And filling over for RPG's Gamer 12.
So yeah, today we're going to talk about Steam machines and stuff to do with them. And then some stealth. Well, yeah, we can do the what you've been playing last, whatever. Stealth, and you know how it's stayed strong all this time. It hasn't really gone away. And what you've been playing. So Tropical, take it away.
Yeah, so this week, like last week, we were talking about probable pricing for the Steam machines, which are going to be... I think a lot of people assumed that it was going to be Steam competing directly with consoles, PS4 and Xbox One. And so, yeah, Tekken was like, depending on the price, yeah, that could be the thing to go for. But we got initial specs for sort of, I guess they would be the prototype models of the Steam machines that Valve is going to be sending out to beta testers. I think it's like 300 people get to beta test it.
Yeah.
Last I checked, there was something like 300,000 people eligible. So good luck, everybody. But yeah, so we've gotten some specs for these machines that they're gonna send out. I have here, it's from Geek.com, basic Steam machine, Intel Core i3, 4130, NVIDIA GTX 660, 16 gigs of RAM, a hybrid hard drive, and a 450 watt power supply, all in a mini case, so a micro ATX like size one. Probably. This is all speculation. So like, you know, we get these specs and sort of people piece it together. How much would this cost me to build on my own? And that one, they say, would cost around $895 for the low end box. The high end one, Core i7 4770, NVIDIA GTX Titan GPU, also 16 gigs of RAM, hybrid hard drive, and same power supply and same case. And that one, like even the Titan card, I think is something like $1,000.
Yeah.
Over $1,000. So yeah, they're thinking this configuration is around 1,800 $130. So yeah, it gives you a lot of power, but also it's not really. So yeah, based on that, we're thinking probably it's not gonna be competing directly with consoles.
I hope so, because I was looking at my specs and it's like, oh, I have a 3.33 gigahertz, dual core CPU, 4 gigabytes of RAM. That'd be nice to have 16 gigs. Cause like, wow, 16 gigs. That's like 4 times as much I have now. So that'd be great. And my video card is old, so yeah, it's like a something. I don't know. I had to look it up.
So yeah, gamer, what do you think of the specs?
My own computer. But the thing is, like, man, 1,800. Just take that money and build your own computer because, oh my god, the low end, it's great for games now. Because you said it comes with a 660, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
660. I thought you. Oh, yeah. I thought I heard 460, but
No.
yeah, 660. So 660. That is a great card for today's games. But when they announced for the specs for Watch Dogs and Call of Duty, it's like, oh man, that is not gonna cut it anymore. Unless you're willing to sacrifice a bunch of details to get a steady frame rate. I don't know.
Yeah.
$800 too. $800 for the low end.
For an i3. I mean, yes, good video card, lots of
That's
RAM.
what I sighed. It's like i3. Kind of terrible. Especially like the newer games that are coming out, they expect like 6-core CPUs recommended. Like, oh my god, the only one of the great bullet points is the RAM. 16 gigs of RAM is great. That's a good standard for sure.
Yeah.
But man,
it's also, I think it's DDR3 1600. So
Okay.
yeah, lots of RAM, more RAM than I've ever seen in one machine before.
but yeah. Wish it was cheaper.
Well, the thing is like with the Steam machines, like going forward, since they're so modular, they can just change
Oh,
that
yeah, they
at
can
will
swap it
over
out.
time. So even if they're like not cutting it like the minimum specs of like future games, they can just be like, well, we're gonna discontinue that, or the manufacturer can be like, well, we're gonna not release those anymore. We're gonna have all these awesome ones that are still the same awesome price. Because like that's the thing I'm waiting for is the price. Because like the one thing now is just waiting for the price, so I can be like, please be awesome, please be awesome, please be awesome for an awesome price, please. And I can just like worry about not have to worry about upgrading my computer and just buy one Steam machine. Be like, oh.
Yeah, that's one thing I hope for in a Steam machine is just the easeability of swapping out components.
Yeah. That'd be really
Rather
nice.
than like I still remember, man, trying to edge my way out to get my big ass graphics card out of the computer, and like carefully remove it because it's like you never know you're gonna hit a capacitor or like you're gonna like damage the card itself because it's a huge card on that little strip of circuit board attached to the motherboard. It's like, oh my god.
They have to push it in.
Hopefully, it's just like you just like the PS3 hard drive. Like it's like slip in, slip out. Like
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, that would
in the
be really
future
nice.
it'll be that easy. But yeah, that's one thing to look forward to.
Yeah, I guess that would be an interesting way to make it more appealing. I mean, right now, because like these prices, by speculated price points are based off of sort of how much the components cost at retail, and even when we look at Dell machines and Alienware and whatever, like they're for the most part pretty close. Like they're generally a few $100s more, but then like when you look at the parts and you make your own machine, and which is what people are doing right now, it's hard to imagine it coming down to an awesome price. I mean, I'm thinking the machines are going to be 600 and up if you want to be able to play games directly on it. And then again, like SteamOS has support for streaming games from your other computers, but then the thing is that computer already has to be awesome in order for it to stream games. Like, man, just this news is sort of and this is like we're sort of relating this topic to some of the new system requirements that have been released lately for games coming out, targeted towards next gen consoles. And the biggest thing I've seen is like RAM requirements are going way up. Before, you could get by with 2 or 4 gigs to play these games, and now I'm starting to think, is it because this past generation everyone is sort of targeted consoles? This was the generation where everyone started scapegoating piracy. It's like, oh, piracy is why there are no PC games. And so, yeah, like everyone was making console games. So when games did go to PC, they always required, at most 2 to 4 gigs of RAM, because they also work on consoles that have like a fourth of that,
Yeah.
or less than a fourth of that. And now going to these 8 gig consoles, like, well, now we can push it. So suddenly my computer that I thought was awesome, not 6 months ago, is suddenly seeming like, oh man, I can play recently yesterday's games, but the next ones, nope, I'm being left behind. And it's not like the gradual thing like in the past where it was, every few weeks new cards and more stuff was coming out and you just kept upgrading. Now it's like this quantum leap suddenly.
Yeah.
And so with this machine, yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't see. Well, maybe Valve could subsidize them, but I don't. It's hard to say. Most people are predicting that they won't do that.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, it's smart what they're doing, but it's weird because it's like they're taking it very laissez-faire, where it's like hands off of like, we have this platform, it works, and Linux is like a proven platform and it's free, so we can just use that in conjunction with it. And you people that make the machines and the controllers, you can worry about the hardware stuff, make it, because that costs us way too much money, and we don't want to get our hands dirty, so we'll just have you guys do that.
So the question is, though, then, what is the end game for Valve here?
Well, people using Steam will be buying software through their platform, so they're going to be making money. I guess if you think about it, it's like they're not making money on the hardware, so it's not like a one-to-one Apple comparison where it's like you buy Apple products that you purchase things through the apps or the Apple Store. It's like you're buying you're still gonna like have the platform where you have to buy it through Steam, but it's like everything's sold through Steam. It's like they're making money off of it, so it's like they're basically just like building a pipeline of people to like give them money so they can sell them games, and that's I guess that's like their goal here. And like they believe in the service, and everybody loves Steam, so they're like, well, it's popular and everybody likes it, so what could go wrong?
Yeah, but then I guess the question is, why build the Steam machine at all? I mean, Steam does that on its own, and it's free, so it's very easy to get people onto Steam. But then, if you're gonna use a Steam machine to do the same thing, like people have to spend, possibly $800 to get a Steam machine to get plugged into the Steam ecosystem.
But gaming computers on their own, like we were just discussing, are not cheap. They're like 500, 600. So maybe when we do see the price on Steam machines, they won't be as crazy as we're thinking they are.
I think Valve just wants like, this Steam machine is guaranteed to play games,
like a standard.
Yeah. It's like you can't just like, you buy an Apple computer, can this play games? Oh, let me check. So when you buy like a Steam machine logoed computer, it's like, okay, I know this plays games.
It's like back in the day when Nintendo's seal of quality actually meant something back in the day.
So you're thinking that there won't be actually that many Steam machines? There'll be sort of set levels, like it has to be at this level of performance before it can be called a Steam machine. And then how they have their like, what was it, good, better, and best like levels? You think they'll just be pretty standard machines within those levels? Because they've talked about SteamOS being free and they're going to license it out to manufacturers for free. Yeah. So I imagine Dell, at least Alienware, is going to jump on that. And, well, actually, I don't know what's happening with Dell. They might be sold or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, like all those people, HP and whatnot, are going to be building machines. So
And then also, with the Steam controller, they said they wanted every game on Steam that's available to run on with those controllers on the Steam machine. So it's like you don't have to worry about like, well, this game won't run. Okay, this game won't run at all. So it's like every game will work. So it's like you have that like standard too. You can just
yeah,
boot up Steam machine and be like, okay, what am I gonna play today? What's on sale?
it's really cool. I mean, I guess maybe you think it has anything to do with this sort of owning the living room that everyone is talking about now, because it's built primarily, I think, as for use like with big picture, and having the controller also signifies they're interested in having this, the controller is like the natural interface in the living room, simply because it's always been like that.
I guess so, because I always thought that was like a weird play to be like, why are we going for the living room? And you can just put it in your computer room or wherever you have your computer at, and you play computer games. It doesn't have to be hooked up to a TV in the living room. So it's like, I just always thought that was like a weird focus to be like, well, it's going to hook up to a TV. But I guess it makes sense if they're going for, like, if they're going after the console market. It's like, we're going to take these guys out, so we're going to target who they're targeting, and the people they're targeting aren't our core users, so we can just people that have TVs that don't have PC monitors to like hook up to. It's like, so it's like now we're ready, so we can just Steam machines, go to TVs, and then you play, and then money.
That is the end goal.
Phase 3 profit or whatever they say.
Oh yes.
Phase 1 develop Steam machines. Phase 2 sell Steam machines to consumers. Phase 3 profit.
Huh. Well, it's interesting. Gamer, are you going to be getting these new games on PC, or are you ready for the next gen of PC
No,
gaming?
it's like I looked at those specs and like, oh, my computer is just like shit. Do what they want. It's like recommended, because like recommended usually means, oh, everything maxed out at a good steady resolution, frame rate. That's recommended, and then they recommended a 780. I only have a 680, so like, I'm lower tier already. It's like I have the RAM. I have 24 gigs of RAM, so it's like I'm ready. I have the space, but then the space concerns because like I only have like 200 gigs left on my main hard drive, and what Call of Duty wants 50. It's like that's a quarter of my drive. That's I'd rather just like get a console, get the disc, install it, or whatever. It doesn't PS4.
See, I was thinking about like that is like one of the things that's going to keep, as far as like this is like unrelated to Steam machines, but this is like more about like consoles and stuff like why physical discs will like stay with us for however long is because like the size of the games will not be getting smaller. Because Radical brought this up like a while ago. It's like they will be getting bigger, so it's like you're here to download it, and we have bandwidth caps on top of that, which we kind of discussed before the podcast. That's going forward going to be an issue of you can't just download stuff through the pipeline because you have limits on the pipeline. So it's not going to solve everything to have digital games.
You'll only be able to buy 5 50 gig games in a month, and that's if you don't use the internet for anything else. That's like no share button.
No share button.
That's messed up.
Because like I don't mind it being that huge, but it's like, okay, if it's gonna be 50 gigs, you have to give me like 2 weeks to preload it. Like, give me time. Because like, let's say I'm only on a really slow DSL speed, like. You need to give me some time to download that. Like, man.
That sounds so ridiculous.
Like launch windows will be declared for every single game. Our game is coming out in the month of March. And
Steam,
when you actually get to play it depends on when you can actually get it onto your system.
And Steam does actually do that like 90% of the time. Because I've noticed like the last couple of games have been available preload over the weekend, so that's cool. But it's like, man, they're getting huge, and I don't know if I could do it with PC like Watch Dogs. Like I was debating, should I get Watch Dogs for PC? Because like PS4, it might be diluted. Like it might be sort of like I could get 60 frames. Like I was all like maybe, but then I saw the specs like, oh, really? I'm just getting it for PS4.
Yeah. That's basically what happened. I don't know, Tekken, did you experience that? Like, because for a while, remember, I was sort of high on my PC. I was like, oh, cool. And I was buying more PC games, and then I hit Tomb Raider, and it was just like, aww. And then now I'm looking at these specs like, this is why I remember why I became a console
Yeah.
gamer in the first place. It was because what was the game? Like I think it was Age of Empires 2 or something, and it just didn't run as well. And I was like, nope. And I was like, oh, PS2, and then so that started all that. But yeah, you're talking about the only reason you were keeping the PS4 for a time was because of share button. So now what?
Well, now I can play. Even like with the share button, dude, it's like the graphically superiority of PS4 games versus PS3 games, and then like my PC is not up to snuff now, so until it's like Steam machines will be my savior hopefully, and I will not have to worry about upgrading my PC ever again and just use this.
I
As a
wonder if
podcast
any PC gamers, like current PC gamers, really expected this to happen.
I think they did.
You think so?
Once a new console shipped, they knew standards would be increased. Which is great because finally, we finally get PC edge graphics, but it's like we have to like upgrade as usual. There's a bunch of people who like water cool their CPUs and they overclock them and they have like SLI Titans. Like they're happy as shit because
Finally, they get to use that stuff.
they could just play it like finally use it my power. Other than the graphic console games, running games at like 240 frames or something. So they're like, finally, I can get it down to 30 frames at a 4K resolution. Like, okay, hey, I'm not part of that group anymore. So yeah,
Priced out.
yep. $1,000 for a video card, guys.
I know.
Nuts.
Crazy.
But yeah.
I think I would get 2 PS4s and a PS3 just as a backup when mine breaks.
Wouldn't you rather get a one as
$9.
well? It's like I could. No one.
Not initially.
Yeah, it's like Shadow Call said, like, you get a PC and you can play old games that look awesome, but then it's like new games you can only play for 6 months and it's time to upgrade. 6 to 12 months, and it's like,
Well,
Well, I think.
Or I
go on.
guess actually not, because like I guess this is like anomaly, because like usually it's like you have to upgrade every 5 to 6 years, but since the console generation went on so long, that wasn't the case.
well, it was weird because like for such a long time, I think it's my computer, even my older computer, not the Alienware, is like 6 or 7 years old, and it's okay. Like I can actually play some of these games, but then. And so I was totally fine with it all those years. Like I actually bought it to play StarCraft 2, and it doesn't run it at the maximum settings, but it runs it fine. And I was like, oh, cool. And then it wasn't until I think Diablo 3 that I realized that it's a little bit underpowered. And then I started playing SimCity, and I was just like, man, my SimCity does not look at all like the trailers. And then and yeah, so getting the new computer is like, oh wow, BioShock runs better than on console, and just all this other stuff runs better than console, and it was a weird feeling because suddenly, like all those years I had been totally okay with it, and then seeing is like, oh, this one is definitely better, and now suddenly, so soon after I felt that I had a good computer, it's like, oh, I don't have a good computer. I'm being left in the dust. And yeah, this is I haven't felt this in a long time. It's not since the 90s when it was just like every few weeks like, oh, I need a new computer to play that game.
See, to me it's like not as bad, because it's like, well, I mean a PS4 soon, so that kind of like solves that problem to where it's like, well, if I can't play it, I'll just play it on my PS4, and then I doubt there's going to be anything that's like super awesome that's like only on PC, so and if there is, it's like whatever. So.
That's what's happening to me now. It's like I'm being pushed back to the consoles, where I was sort of leaning
from the
towards
PC gaming
PC.
elites and back to the console peasants level.
Well, I think we're just Tropical and I were just in a state of shock right now. It's like, oh, our PCs are shit. But like 2 or 3 years down the road, it's like, Intel will introduce their new CPUs, or Nvidia will introduce their new cards that are like their mid-range cards, which are like what, $400, and maybe those will be the equivalent of the Titans today. So it'll get cheaper for
Yeah.
PC users
That's true.
if they wait. So we'll finally get the lower price at the later time, but right now for the short term like experience, a console the better buy.
You know, much cheaper, has not more games, but it has some games that PC doesn't have, so that's something. Share button. Seriously, when is that coming to PC? It seems like such an easy thing.
I think wasn't Steam looking into that?
Yeah, I think they were trying to like. I'm not sure if it was Steam, but they're like, weren't they trying to like have their API integrated with Twitch or something?
Well, I know Twitch released an API for developers to put into their games, and then it would actually, right now, like the only way to make a highlight is to do it manually, and the Twitch API was supposed to do things like it would intelligently be able to make highlights and know when significant stuff was happening. Sort of like how Call of Duty is a theater mode, detects what clips to take to make a highlight reel. Someday.
Maybe on the Steam machines it'll be, where we want it to be now. And
Maybe.
like, yay.
Maybe.
Another reason Steam machines are awesome. Yay. If only they're as cheap as
right now,
be.
I have no idea how it's going to be that cheap. Because either they could make them really cheap and then just say, well, that's okay, because we're making money off of every Steam game sold, so, giving you this machine at a loss is going to pay for itself later when you buy a ton of games. But then on the flip side of that, it's like, well, then all the other manufacturers are like, why are we making Steam machines? We can't beat them on price, and we don't get a cut of the Steam sales, so we're just going to not make Steam machines and for some reason keep making Windows ones.
Yeah, see, that's the weird thing is like, they're not console manufacturers that are like, oh, well, we'll take a hit on the hardware and we'll make it up with software. Because like they're not making it up with software, so that does not compute.
Valve could do it, but no one else could because they don't make any money on the software.
Unless they
It's like we're doing all the hard work, guys. What the hell?
Game was just like, exactly. Oh. Or like maybe if they like reimburse them or something, I don't know. And they have some like weird agreement that they have, like, we sell this many, we'll pay you this much or something.
Mm.
It'll like even out somehow, or you get like a bit of profit. I don't know.
I don't know if Valve is that powerful yet.
It's nice to want things, and that's what I want. Cheap Steam machine, or at least on par with current gen console pricing. Because then I can be like, haha, I have an excuse not to buy an Xbox One now. Or at least not buy one for a while, so yeah.
Wow, we are approaching the 1 month,
I know.
30 days date from the launch of
So
next.
close, so close.
Yeah.
Just wondering, did either of you get the pre-order in for the collector's edition of Arkham Origins?
No.
Okay. Gamer, did you not pre-order it?
I just got a standard edition.
Okay. Yeah, I went to pre-order and they were out of it, so I was like, oh, that's sad. So.
Oh, it was available last week on Amazon.
Was?
Yeah.
But GameStop has like better pre-order stuff.
You and GameStop.
They can only buy my loyalty.
It's true. It's funny because like I didn't even need to pre-order GTA 5 to get the blimp, and I was like, oh, I could have just got it through PSN, but then I would have like it would have took so long at the time of like me realizing that of like.
And Tekken, even then, man,
download
don't
it.
get the PSN version. Don't get the PSN version.
Oh really?
Apparently it doesn't run as well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Actually, it's interesting. So, I have a theory, and I'm not sure if I want to gamble on it. Because so eventually, like, we know that the preliminary plans for Gaikai or PlayStation Cloud is that they're going to stream PS3 legacy titles to PS4 and eventually to PS3 and eventually to Vita. And everyone is sort of concerned about, well, what's the pricing going to be like if I have all these? Am I going to have to buy them again in order to play them on my PS4? And I think the most reasonable approach that Sony can take is if you have like the digital license to a PS3 game, say you bought it on PlayStation Store now, you'd be able to play them over PlayStation Cloud in the future. I mean, it's the same game, and they've repeatedly sort of said that distribution matter is not that important. So I'm thinking maybe I will get some of the late in the console generation games digitally and hope that they will just be in my PlayStation Cloud library in the future.
Well, technically, it's almost happening with the cross-gen stuff. Because like when you have Battlefield 4 and PS3, they know, okay, he has it. Just give him the coupon for $10 on PS4.
Yeah.
Now you have it for both systems.
See, I think like that one logically, it also makes sense where the PS3 version and the PS4 versions are arguably different pieces of software because they're just totally different architecture. So they have the same design and everything, but behind the scenes, a lot of it's going to be different. And so it makes sense that there's sort of an upcharge there. But if it's just a PS3 game, the difference between a streamed version and a downloaded version, there shouldn't be any difference. Like the streaming technology is separate from the game itself. So I feel like that should be, that is a reasonable offer for them to give us. If you bought the digital version, you get the digital version.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Streaming over the cloud. So
it would make sense too, because then it'd be another ad for Plus members of like, all these free games you've gotten over the years, you got them in the cloud now.
Yeah, exactly. That, oh my god.
That would tie me in. I'd be like, sold.
We would never be able to leave PlayStation Plus. They own us forever.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything to add about the Steam Machine thingy, or anything else?
I hope that it's cheap like you, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Alright, so we're gonna stop here and come back with stealth games and stuff. Yeah, that we've been meaning to have for like 5 weeks or something. So yeah, enjoy it, internet. Okay, I'm on the Facebook thingy, looking at the thingy I put in there about stealth games back in the day, because I completely forgot what I was talking about, and like, because I'm like gonna like read it, just like see if it makes sense. If RPG can't make it, we can talk about stealth games. Since Splinter Cell, a new Batman, and a new Metal Gear are on the horizon, also new Assassin's Creed looks to try to be more stealthy. Maybe something about the genre is only getting better with time. Okay, that's what I wanted. The genre getting better with time, A, and then B, that doesn't seem to fade away like some genres. Or I guess it's like one of the, I don't know. I guess we can like this explore the nature of the genre, since it's kind of new, but not really. It just Metal Gear Solid kind of like blew it up. I guess Tenchu, but it's like it's never reached like a low point like some genres that have like come and gone. So it's just like stayed strong or stayed true, or however you say that.
Gotten better.
And gotten better, because shooting dudes in the face in Splinter Cell never gets old. Even though I still have yet to play Spice vs. Mercs. It's so sad.
Me too.
Like,
although I've also yet to play the 3rd chapter and onward of the single-player campaign.
Oh, Tropical. And you never finished Red Dead, which I will keep bringing up. It's like I completely forgot about you never finishing Red Dead, but then like after you brought it up, I was like, well, now you can just keep bringing that up and the whole Mass Effect thing. It's like those two games are like my most favorite series of like the last gen. The Tropical never finished. It's like
it'll happen.
Man, I can't wait to have our crazy predictions for next gen of like futurist like crazy discussion of like before next gen hits of like what's going to happen in the future.
Is there a criteria for finishing Mass Effect? I can finish it however I want, right?
So you should
Why don't you just watch Tekken's playthrough?
actually, yeah, actually, I have
Non-interactive finished playthrough.
the whole trilogy on YouTube.
I would probably see more of the game that way.
You probably
Because,
would.
Yeah, just put it in the background.
Yeah, just do it like you did ER that one time, and you know,
Yeah.
before you're done, it'll
Play-
be done.
Play Final Fantasy 14 while I watch Tekken's playthrough.
It's like playing 2 games at once, but not really. Okay, pushing the button now.
This call is being recorded.
Okay, we're back. Second segment. So, Splinter Cell came out in was it August or September? I don't remember.
August.
Current one?
In
August.
In
yeah.
August, and then you know, there's new Metal Gear coming out next year, I believe. If not next year, in the future. And then new Batman coming out next week, or a week after next week, or something. No, sometime this month, whatever.
Yep.
And also Assassin's Creed is being more stealthy, and you know, last year Dishonored came out, and people were like, "Oh man, it's so awesome." I disagreed, but whatever. I'm not gonna go into it. And then we also have Thief coming out next year, which is like, oh, you know, stealthy spy dude. I mean, thief dude. Thief spy dude. Yeah, going to steal stuff. And so you know, we were you know, examining the stealth game and how it's been around. It hasn't really gone down in quality over the years, and it just seems to get better in time. And you know, it doesn't have any tendency of dying away like some genres JRPGs have. And you know, let's look at stealth games and our favorite ones and why we enjoy them and stuff.
Well, obviously, Batman is my favorite one.
Or like why we love our predatory stealth games so much.
I think the genre improves very naturally with technology. Initially, even, you know, you compare the AI in Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 4, and they just have, I wouldn't say realistic, but more lifelike feeling artificial intelligence as far as when soldiers detect you and things like that. And so, you know, all of that sort of adds to the tension. Whereas before, you could sort of run around as Snake, and, you know, his footsteps aren't really that quiet, and guys didn't really seem to notice unless he was really, really close. And that's, like, you know, less and less the case. And, you know, the next one, he was talking about, finally, after all these years, we have real spotlights and, you know, light and shadow gameplay.
Yeah, see, to me, like, the cool thing about stealth games is, like, only recently, like, do I feel that it's been done as far as, like, the recent Splinter Cell, and then, like, the trailer for 5 when he's, like, in the desert during the daytime is, like, you have, like, these stealth sections during the day, which are just, like, it's like, it breaks the mold of the genre where it's, like, you don't have to be at nighttime all the time, because, like, in Splinter Cell, like, when you go to Iraq, you're in the daytime, and there's other levels later on that you're in the daytime. It's like, I, like, didn't even notice it until after I was playing on my second playthrough, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is in the daylight. I was like, but, like, you still have that feeling of I'm being, like, you know, invisible, and nobody can see me in the daytime, so it doesn't really distract from the whole stealth element of the game. If it has to be at nighttime, I was like, man, it just really felt really good. Even though Batman doesn't do that because it's Batman, it has to be at night, whatever, so.
Is Batman it's all nighttime, right?
Yeah.
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 I guess Batman would look silly in the daytime.
Well, it kind of like fits his MO though, because he like has to go out at night and fight crime, and during the day he's Bruce Wayne and runs his own corporation, blah blah blah. So,
If Batman only goes at night, wouldn't that mean the criminals have better, like, things to do during the daytime? Like, Batman doesn't really come during the day, so let's do it.
They had that. That was a line in one of the Batman movies. They had their
Oh, really?
meetings in the day because they're afraid of the night. Yeah. Well, I guess the other thing is, I guess JRPGs have sort of fallen out because they're perhaps not as visceral. Because, you know, turn-based has kind of died down, really. I mean, XCOM, I think, was the last really exciting turn-based thing. And, you know, with stealth games, I think they sort of lend themselves to have a more action-orientated variation. So, whereas before Splinter Cell really was kind of stealthy, it's become, even though you are hiding and stuff, but you're not hiding because you're afraid of them. You're hiding because you want to get really close and then kill them all really spectacularly.
Yeah, I remember I was watching Gamer's Twitch when he was playing it, and he's like, yeah, you can't even do anything fun if you're doing the Ghost, because you can't
Yeah.
do anything. Whereas, like, if you're Panther, like, you just have so much fun ganking people left and right. Never seen
Yeah,
it.
your only choice is what? Incapacitate people and shoot them with trank darts. That's boring.
Lure them away and run away.
Yeah, it's like really interesting because like it took like
Well, that's the thing about Ghost. You can't lure them.
Really?
It's gonna
Oh,
affect
like-
your score.
Huh.
So you can't get you can't get
Nothing.
spotted, of course, and you can't distract them off their positions. That's how you do a true Ghost. That's why I was playing Ghost, but with Panther tranks. So I wasn't playing it properly. That sucked. Because I was like, I looked at the scores, like I'm supposed to be getting like super high scores compared to Tekken, because Tekken was playing Panther, and his scores were like overlapping mine. I'm like, how is that even possible? Oh, because I was distracting people, and that just negative score. Like it was just like not even registering. I was like, ah, shit. So
But yeah, I'd say like that's one of the masterful things of like the current stealth games is how they took something that's like so you would think is like so like boresome of just like being patient and waiting for your moment, and it's like added an element of you have to strategically plot out how am I going to like get from point A to point Z, because it always seems like you're trying to sneak from somewhere and like do something, and there's always like get here, get there, and like while you're on the way from here to there, do this and stuff. And Splinter Cell like Blacklist to me is just like so good this year, like just the way they did that of like not only do you do that, but they also like give you like the stuff of like get this dude 'cause he's on our list, or get this laptop. So it's like, oh, by the way, while you're sneaking through there's this other side objective thing. So that's really good of like the stuff that they've done with the genre of not just making it about let me hide and wait while someone walks by and then sneak past them. It's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
there's actually to do besides sit here and watch these people walk around and wait for an opening.
So you compare Blacklist to the first Splinter Cell? Oh my jeez, man! First Splinter Cell, you get spotted, game over. Restart checkpoint.
Yeah, there was a
Or
lot of
restart the
stuff like that.
Like, oh my god, that was very frustrating. Nowadays, if you get spotted, what is it called?
Loud.
Improvise. Not go loud, but it's like that's you, Tekken. You kill everyone when you get spotted. But it's like when shit goes wrong, it's like, oh, just improvise and just like figure out what to do. That's what's great about stealth games today, is like they give you choice and ways to get out if you get spotted.
So yeah, I think that's also a thing that is enabled by better technology. I think before, you just didn't have the memory to have all of those different AI routines running at the same time. You would have to, you get spotted and then it would reload the exact same level, but then suddenly all these guards would become enemies, and that would not be cool. So now they can actually fit aggressive and patrolling AI into the same characters.
Yeah, and then like in Batman Arkham Asylum, it was great because like the way they set the game up is like you're going through and taking dudes out like silently like so like for such a long time, and then they like add things to like give you a little challenge to be like, oh, well, you can't do that anymore. Like they'll give like the guards like the collars that have the alarms on them, or the gargoyles that explode. So it's like, oh, you gotta switch it up here, Batman, because it's not gonna be that easy all the way through the game. So that's great.
I think the Batman Arkham series, they do it best because once they spot you did something, everyone's on alert, and it will never go back to the relaxed state. You know?
Yeah.
It's like they're always freaking out. It's like, we need to find them. Let's take them out. Like, it's always a problem in stealth games. Still, like some stealth games, like Splinter Cell, where I don't see anything wrong. I'll go back to my original routine. Even in Blacklist,
That's
that
my
happened.
imagination. Yeah.
Oh, I see this dead body. I'll go back to where I was going.
It was a hallucination.
Yeah, I remember when like Tactical brought it up for Conviction, where it's like you just have like the stream of dudes coming through the hallway, like the doorway, being like, "Hey, where's this guy here? What happened?" And you just like would just take out like a train of dudes as they're like investigating. It was just like, what?
Next one, pop.
Yeah, hopefully, in the next generation, like they have like AI routines. They see a pile of bodies. They put two and two together. Let me go another way. You know, it's like not this lineup of dead bodies on the ground. It's like something's really wrong.
What's wrong with this picture? Walk around a little. I guess nothing.
And that was great in like Arkham Asylum, where it's like two enemies would actually just pair up together. One will take the
Oh
front, one will take the
yeah,
back.
that was great.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in any other stealth game too. It's like, oh shit, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah, and then like in Arkham City, I'm not sure if it was in Arkham Asylum how they had the heat vision goggles so they could see you on the gargoyle like later on.
Oh, yeah.
Of like when they knew you were there, of like, okay, I'll check this one, and then like they'd scan it, and like you either had to have the upgrade or like move to a different one. That was great.
Yeah, I guess because I don't know. They've been really clever with using the ever improving technology to make cooler and cooler stealth stuff. And I think that's why it's never stagnated.
Yeah, it's funny because like I remember when I said, after Metal Gear Solid 4, and like Jim was like, I'm gonna make a 5. I was like, well, I'm not gonna play 5. And then I saw the trailer, I was like, damn it. Because I just like remember how good it was in like 4, just like to have the Octo camo, and then just like because like 3 was like the best game ever for so long for me, and then like with like the camouflage, but then like 4 was better because you didn't have to keep going into the menus, so it was just like so seamless of just blending in and being right there on the dudes, and they you're there, and like they'd step over you and be like, oh, it's like, oh, I'm right there. It's just that sneaking is just so good, and like MGS 4, the way they do it, and like the 5 to see like it's like gonna be just even crazier of the stuff you can do. Just cannot wait.
So awesome.
And it seems it's gonna be like even more like open world than like the past ones. That's gonna be crazy. Just can't wait.
Did you watch the TGS demos of it?
I have not watched any demos of it.
The demos were crazy because yeah, it's sort of an open world, and then like you call in your own extraction, so it's not like they had set up a point where, okay, this is where the chopper is going to be, go get the guy and then bring him back to the chopper here. It was just like you call in and it'll give you certain designated spots where it can land, and it'll tell you the spots are, this one is going to be really hot, like, so if the chopper flies in here, all the soldiers in the base are going to see it and they're going to be shooting at it. Or you could, the advantage though is that it's really close, so you could just sort of run over there and get in the chopper, and hopefully they don't shoot it down before that happens. Or you could pick these other spots which are further out, so you have to walk farther, but they won't be shooting at the chopper as you're trying to extract.
Actually, that's interesting because like for me, it's like MGS1 was probably like the first stealth game I played, whereas like both Batman and Splinter Cell are like Western developed, and like they're I'm I'm not gonna say like they have the same feeling or whatever, but like I do enjoy them all like at the same or at the same level of enjoyment for all of them, where I just enjoy them and like playing through them. They're all fun, so it's like I don't really see like I'm trying to like think in my mind of like what I'm trying to say, but I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's like
As opposed to outside of your mind.
I guess it's the thing where it's like if you look at JRPGs and WRPGs, I don't see like a clear cut of like one is like completely different from the other in this aspect, or like they can like be so much better in like one side, whereas the other side does something better. Like the battle systems and WRPGs and JRPGs are just, one's more real time and one's more turn based, but like it doesn't really apply to the stealth genre. So
I'm trying to think of, is there another stealth game out of Japan?
well, there's Tenchu, but they haven't made a new one in
Oh,
a
that's
while.
right.
So there's like one on 360, but I didn't play it. So
Actually, mechanically, I didn't actually like stealth games as much until the recent sort of predatory stealth style.
actually, okay.
Oh, you would rather stalk dudes instead of being the patient. Let's wait
Yeah.
until.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
I can patiently play Splinter Cell, but then it was just sort of, in the old Splinter Cell, I was like, well, okay, I'm waiting. It's like, oh, I watched his patrol path, but I wasn't certain, so I watched it again. And okay, so I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes now. I think I know what he's doing, and then I can go. And it was just, I can do that. I can sit there and wait a long time, but it just wasn't as riveting as the current ones, where it's just, you're above them and they can't see you, and you just swoop down and it's like, oh my gosh, what happened to that guy? Where did he go? And then yeah, with Conviction, it's like, oh, this is really awesome. The mark and execute thing, and
Oh, it's so good. And then like the sonar goggles is just like, boop.
yeah, it's like everything is so amazing. And so I like how I guess it's not pure stealth anymore. It's just it is the hunter.
Yeah, do you think like that's allowed the like the genre elements to drip down as far as like, because we always say like RPG elements. Do you think like the stealth, like the predatory stealth, or just like stealth elements have like spread to like other genres? Because like Far Cry 3 kind of had it, and then like there's also that stage in Modern Warfare 2 where you have to like sneak into the base in the snow and like plant the thing with Soap and Captain Price.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
think
thought that was really cool sequence in that game. Looked like you got a trophy if you didn't get spotted. And I always it's cool because like I always get the trophies for like that stuff, because like there's one in even in Beyond Two Souls. I was like, oh, stealth thingy, I got it, awesome. So I always feel like even when I'm not playing a stealth game, I approach it the same way of like, okay, let me just play my moves and make sure nobody can see me.
I've been doing that in GTA recently. Yeah, no, it's as I was saying earlier, yeah, action lends itself really well to stealth type games because everything is becoming sort of more movie like is sort of the goal, it seems. So Splinter Cell, entirely speaking, Splinter Cell looks boring, but when you have those action scenes interspersed with the stealth, then it's really cool. And then same thing goes for sort of like action games like Uncharted 2, like takes the action part from Uncharted 1, but then added stealth as sort of to break up all the shooting and running around. And so, yeah, I think they fit together really well, and technology has enabled us to put them together.
I'm trying to think of the game. Oh yeah, because like I remember like Far Cry 3. That's like one of the favorite things I would love to do is just like sneak into the outposts and just like try to take them down without anybody setting the alarm or like spotting me. That was always satisfying. That's the other reason why I love that game. Is just like it had the stealth elements. You could just like put a silencer on your guns. Nobody would hear you when you shot, and you could like sneak around and just like eventually upgrade your character to where you could just chain the melee kills. And just be like shink shink shink, and then have like a base full of dead enemies, and be like, all right, I liberated it. Awesome, haha.
For me, the stealth in Far Cry 3, unless I had a sniper with a silencer, it's like it was so frustrating. Because like you would kill a guy, then like he would spot the guy, like, oh, what's going on?
That's the cool thing about like Far Cry 3 is like you had to hide the bodies.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
So I just had a 50 cal sniper. Just no one can look at me because I'm like 100 yards away.
Sniping.
And then Deus Ex as well, because that was how I played that game. I was like, ooh. And then you can like cloak anyway later on because you get the upgrade. So I was like, yeah.
Did you get an achievement for not getting spotted?
Yeah, I got it on PC or whatever. Or I think I played it. I played that game like too many times on like because I like triple dip, so whatever. But I was like, after I knew that was in there, I went for like that on the PC playthrough and I got it. So, but then I was angry because I didn't get like the no kills one. I could have sworn I didn't kill anybody. I was like, what the f? Who did I kill? And I was like, oh my gosh, I had to play this game all over again. And I was like, well, whatever. So that was kind of annoying, but at the same time, I was like, whatever. I didn't get any alarms, even though I apparently killed at least one person. So go figure. Did either of you play Dishonored?
Not
Played
yet.
an hour of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess never mind. Because for some reason that game just didn't. I don't know. It didn't click with me as much as it did with everybody else, and like everybody else played it stealthily and like enjoyed it. But that's one of the ones that wasn't a misfire for me.
We'll see.
But I'm trying to think of what the second part of this discussion was about, as far as besides Gucci Nuver stealth games.
So what do you guys think of games? Because I know you mentioned like Beyond, but like what about other games that use like small stealth segments? Like Last of Us was like somewhat stealth until shit went down.
And it happened a lot.
Do you like the like section like that, where it's like there's a stealth section in the game?
I do. And then well, we didn't talk about Assassin's Creed, but you know, you can try to assassinate dudes without getting alerted, but that seems kind of hard. So I'd always just try to go as far as I
Assassin's Creed, it
could.
became, for me, it became less of a stealth game. It's like, just let me shank the dude. Like, get it over with. You know, like,
Yeah, I think the assassins, like their combat abilities got so good. You just jump in and it's like, whatever, 10 guys, I can take them.
yeah. It's like even like because like before you have to plan out your route and everything, and these days if you're trying to go for stealth, you have to go the path that Ubisoft gave you. You
Yeah.
can't deviate from that path, and it sucks. Like that's why whenever I had an assassination mission, just go balls in, just kill everyone. Because like they even give you option. If there's guns coming, they're about to fire. You just press what X
Yeah.
or something, and you just right shot. Like there's no consequence of going full in. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with me, like for Dishonored, I think that's what it was. Is like you have like so many RPG elements and you upgrade so much of your gear, but like there's a thing where it's like if you can go through the level and like not kill anybody or not get spotted or whatever and get stealthily, you get like all these bonuses. So like you get all this XP and like you upgrade all your stuff, but then you end up not being able to use it. So it's like I felt very restrained by the end of the game and not being able to just like let loose and kill people. I just had enough, and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna kill everybody on the stage and just like massacred a bunch of people on like one of the final stages or something. I don't know. I think I'd already like gotten sighted or like gotten like or killed someone. So I was like, well, I already lost that achievement. So I was just like, whatever. No, I'm just gonna go in and just destroy everybody with these overpowered powers I have. So that was funny. I didn't get to like really experience all the combat and stuff until the end because I built up my character not doing anything during like the first part of it. But by the end, he was so powerful. I was like, oh well, I can handle anything. So I showed them.
because there's stealth in Killzone Mercenary, but it's kind of terrible.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about The Last of Us though. Like that was like really good stealth, especially in the winter stage when the blizzard is like, man, I got this like the biggest freak out in that game when I was trying to sneak through, and there's like one of the bad dudes was like behind me. I didn't notice it, and then like he blindsided me, and I just jumped out of my seat. I was like, ah! It was like I was so on edge of like trying to like sneak through the storm without anybody seeing me, and then that was so funny.
Like
Yeah.
go ahead.
I mean, to answer your question, I guess I do like it because I like stealth games, and then so having those little sections to break up combat is like, oh, they're breaking up this game that I like with a mechanic that I like. So
Yeah.
it's good.
The only thing I find frustrating in Killzone Mercenaries and Last of Us is like once you get spotted, everything flips a switch and everyone knows where you are. I
Yeah.
really don't like that. It's like, I just want your intel.
See, those parts are weird because the setups in Killzone Mercenary, it seems like the people that you have to interrogate, you have to go for them first, but then when you do that, you're sort of stuck in this
Yeah.
I guess it's a quick time event, and then you have no control over if anyone else sees you at all, and you're not really sure because what you're doing seems like it would be really loud, and yet sometimes you'll be in the same room with another guy just on the other side of a table, and he won't notice at all that you're bashing this guy's head into the ground.
Yeah, it's only by sight, right? It seems like.
Yeah, it seems like it. So it feels really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we forgot to talk about or bring up Payday 2, which like had a big stealth element. So I think that'd be pretty cool to see like more first-person stealth games because like Deus Ex, Far Cry, I really enjoyed those. Well, Payday 2 also though, but like I've always like enjoyed. Well, I guess that's not true. That like I've always enjoyed the first-person perspective more, but like to see that seems like a genre that like could branch out in the first-person perspective where it's not just about well, Thief's coming up, but like it's like a franchise, so it's like not kind of doesn't count, whatever. So it's like you can like branch out besides just being like a dude that shoots everybody when you're playing a first-person game, which would be more refreshing.
And Payday. Did they fix that? Do you know?
Yeah, well, they've been patching the hell out of it, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been down like 10 gigs for like nothing. It's like I I had my fill of Payday 2.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and
So
played it either.
quick.
Well, it's
It
the
kind of
way-
felt like I was playing an alpha of the game. Like it
Mm.
wasn't really finished.
Like an early access Payday 2.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah,
But the
like
stealth is good in that game.
I think it would have been really cool. It was just like you would shoot a
Oh,
guy
yeah.
sometimes and it would be okay, and then sometimes you'd shoot a guy and then it wouldn't be okay. like
Like
what's the difference?
silencers in that game are kind of useless because like
Yeah.
even if you shoot someone with a silencer, like a guard outside the bank, people would still hear the shot. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's sort of realistic. I mean, silencers don't make it silent, but
Yeah,
and I guess we've
yeah.
heard them enough in movies that people would be like, "Oh, that was a silenced gunshot."
Yeah.
But still, it's like, well, how am I supposed to do this then? Hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at this thing on the Facebook. I put like another comment, but I was like, oh, well, there's another one below this, but whatever. It's just about how me and you both love predatory stealth games
Yes.
and how their new one's coming out, and we're looking forward to them.
I wonder, is that an official genre name yet? No one has taken that from us?
I don't think so.
Predatory stealth? That's the genre we coined the name for.
Have you played Sneak King? Tropical?
No, I have it though.
Oh, you have it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
haven't tried
predatory
it.
stealth, isn't it?
Um, I guess so. Because you're stalking people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, I just remembered there's that Gears of War 2 DLC where you have like the option of going like stealth or going loud, but I haven't played it, so I'm not sure how it like plays.
Well, it's sort of different though. It's not stealth, I think. It's like incognito, which is sort of different.
Oh yeah, all of us played Monaco. That was a stealth type of game, but we kind of failed at it. But
We were bad at the stealth. Dang dogs.
oh, you guys played Mark of the Ninja. Is that any good?
That's a really good stealth game,
Well,
actually.
Is that predatory stealth or
Actually,
sort
Mark
of
of
like
the Ninja is
passive
more,
stealth?
Yeah, it's more like pure stealth.
okay?
Because you're really weak in combat, but you have a lot of tools. And then the cool part about that one is there's never any confusion. It's not like the worst case I can think of, is sort of Payday, or even Killzone Mercenary. Sometimes you're pretty sure no one saw you, and yet suddenly everyone is alerted. Whereas Mark of the Ninja has none of that. That game is just, you know why. It's like, oh, I should not have done that.
Did you play any more Range Optical?
Oh yeah, I finished Rain.
That was a bit stealthy.
Yeah.
It was like funny because it's like a mix of like stealth and horror, which I think would go well together.
That game was actually, it was remarkably tense.
I know.
Like, I sort of thought it would be relaxing, but I was like, no, this game is freaky.
Actually, looking at the trailer for the that new Shinji Mikami game, that looks a bit, well, not stealthy, but like it would be like a good mix for like stealth and horror of like trying to sneak past all that crazy stuff. That'd be a good mix of like a stealth horror game where it's like you're trying to like sneak out before crazy stuff happens to you and pops out and scares you or something.
Or kills you.
I think that's probably like why I enjoy stealth games, is like I can play them and not be afraid of what I'm sneaking by. And know I'm not gonna like be all creeped out and like have a fighting chance against it. Whereas like in Resident Evil, I play like really slow paced anyway, so it's like I kind of play it like a stealth game, but it's really scary to me, so it doesn't have that effect of I can take all these things on, yeah.
What about stealth games where you're the prey? Have you guys enjoyed those?
Stealth games where you're the prey.
Like Clock Tower or what was that game? Oh, like I was playing, like there was Amnesia or Outlast. Like those games are terrifying.
I haven't played out.
Yeah, I actually haven't played any of those yet. Because, like, to me, I mean, I guess they are stealth games, but to me, they always struck me as horror games first.
Oh, okay.
Although I guess Rain is that type of stealth game where you have no combat ability whatsoever.
Yeah,
and
that's what I enjoyed
gotta-
about it was like you died in one hit, so it's like you kind of have to
Yeah.
be on point with your stealth when you're sneaking by, which is why
But,
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it's true. Those are stealth games.
But yeah, I guess that's it for stealth games, unless somebody has something to add before I move on. And then any listeners out there can be like, what did we enjoy? What did you enjoy about stealth games or the stealth genre, or where it's going and how the stealth or predatory stealth or stealth elements? Because I would say RPG elements, and I was like, I can just say stealth elements, which sounds weird since I never say it. But
Yeah, predatory stealth elements.
predatory stealth elements are like dripping into other games too now. So
PSG.
how do you feel about that? Alright, and then so yeah, I guess that's it, and we'll be back after this with what you've been playing.
Would the first predatory stealth game be Manhunt, or
Oh,
was there
yeah,
something
I forgot
before
to talk about
that?
Manhunt.
Was there something before Manhunt?
I haven't played Manhunt. It probably is the first one.
I actually didn't get to play those.
See, for me, it's like I could play it, but I want to play it on my PS2, which is not hooked up and like use a headset. So.
Oh, you
I
have?
don't think I have any like working headsets for my PS2 though, so I don't have the game.
Oh, you don't have the game.
Well, it's on
I've-
PS3. It's on PS3 Classics.
But can you use a PS3 headset with it? Do you like get the headset stuff?
I think so.
Oh, okay. That's always
What do you mean the headset stuff?
You like call out guards, and they'll like you like distract them with your voice, pretty much,
Uh huh.
and then you sneak up and gank them. So.
Man.
Actually, it's funny. Like thinking about it that way, you could say like the stealth element, because there is a stealth element in GTA 5, was like taken from Manhunt, like all the other stuff that's in that game from other Rockstar
Oh
games.
man, the stealth is so
I know,
terrible.
I know,
in
it's
Grand
like,
Theft Auto.
it's like bare bones and like barely there, but it's like it's still there.
It's sort of easy in some situations because you have the whole open world. So I just like leave the area entirely and then come back from a different angle.
Yeah.
It's like I see where you've placed the guards that I'm supposed to sneak by, but I'm just gonna go way out there and then come around.
Like man, evading the cops because the stealth has been adjusted. Like evading cops, like you could just like leave your car and hide in a wall of a house, and they would
Yeah.
never like spot you, which is so cool. It's like I feel like a criminal.
Oh, they like patched the cop thing.
Do they?
What did they patch?
Oh, I thought that's what you just said.
No. What do you mean?
Like, you said it was a lot easier.
I said you could evade cops on ground on like what do you call that?
on foot.
On foot. Rather than like I still remember in Grand Theft Auto 4, you had to go to get out of that circle just to evade
No.
them, which is annoying.
Now it's
But-
just you break line of sight and
Yeah.
then don't enter line of sight, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's really easy.
much
Okay, that's probably why I was having so much trouble. Was because I'd like stay in my car and I wouldn't get out. Like
Mm,
I'd break line of sight, but then there'd be another one that would like see me.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just get off the road, get into an alley, or
Okay.
get out the car
like-
and then
'cause,
just,
like,
like
the-
hide in a nook.
Because the whole time I was playing, I was like, man, the cops in GTA 5 are like way harder than they were in 4. It just kept getting me. It's like I'd break line of sight, and like for the longest time I'd be like the thing was like the stars would take so long to go away that
Yeah.
it would like another cop would roll by and be like, oh, I'm on it again. And so it's like it would take me forever to get away from them.
That is weird. In 5?
Yeah.
I have never seen a cop car open world. Like probably once, but they were like doing a random event. Like wee 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 wee. Like they would pass me.
That's
But I would never see one like if I have stars. Because you could see it on the radar, right? You could see like, oh, their cone.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I've never seen one like as I was running out, another one would appear. It would never happen.
I got
But
that- I
online
got that all
though,
the time.
it's a different story. It's like a totally different system. They're so aggressive online. Like it's annoying.
Okay, well before we talk about any more GTA, let me push the record button.
Oh,
This call is being recorded.
Alright, we're back. What you've been playing, and if you're in the stream, you may have heard what we're saying, but this is just for you listeners out there in the internet. So, who wants to go first?
We were talking GTA and stealth because we were talking stealth earlier.
Yeah, 'cause we forgot to talk about Manhunt, but none of us has played it, so Yeah, that's why.
But yeah, the cop behavior, and I think this was this week. Finally, GTA Online was working, and the first thing that happened to me after the tutorial, I was walking down the street, minding my own business, and then suddenly, like I saw, or I guess I saw it after it happened. A guy had apparently been walking slowly behind me with his gun pointed at my head, and he just like shot me, and I died. I was like, that what? Huh? It was very unexpected. It was random gang violence, and I had no idea that was happening. It was very, yeah.
So it was another player, not an NPC, right?
Yes, it was another player. He was stalking me from behind, and I didn't see him at all. He was outside of my camera, and then when I got hit, then I saw him standing there holding the gun to my head.
That would make sense because he hadn't shot, so it wouldn't show up on radar.
Yeah, and I was like,
He
what?
wouldn't show up. I thought they do.
No, but he hasn't.
Well-
He hasn't fired a shot, so he's not. Like,
Well, no, he did show up.
No, the white dot.
Yeah,
I haven't
I
played
didn't.
online, so I don't know.
I didn't
Oh,
notice,
okay.
like, because I was watching a guy running down the street towards me,
Oh,
And I was thinking, well, I'm just gonna, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm looking for an ATM to go deposit my money, and I was like walking slowly, as if I was really walking down the sidewalk, and this guy, he's like running towards me.
Wow, so they're like
And-
we're both out to gank you.
Maybe, or he was coming to he was coming to save me.
I don't think that's the case, Optical. I'm pretty sure he's on his way to gank you too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
'Cause I saw that tweet.
Oh, man, random gang violence. But man, so far GTA Online is really cool.
yeah.
Just so much stuff, and it actually kind of has a story-ish. Although, yeah, when I first got it working, it was still during and I don't know how stable it is now because I haven't played it since. But that day, the first tutorial mission is something like you have to go to this place and get drugs from these people, and when you go there, they start shooting at you or something. And I did not realize that the guy with me was another player. I thought it was an NPC, and so I was pretty impressed by how he was driving. It was just like, this does not feel like riding
Oh,
the
see,
map at all.
that's pretty cool, actually.
He was like, wow, we're really booking it down the street. And then we got there, and he got out, and I got out, and I forgot what the controls were momentarily and accidentally fired my gun at him.
Oh,
And then-
jeez.
but I missed, and then because I fired my gun, like everyone inside, which I thought was just a pickup, they started shooting at us. And I was like, "Oh, I think this is my bad," and we started fighting back. And then at the bottom was like, "Oh, go get the drugs." So I ran out following the green dot, and I was like, "Huh, the green dot is just standing out there somewhere." So I ran through the alley, and then
I hate
got
when
to
that
the-
happens in GTA 5, by the way. It's like you have like something that you need to get, and it's like on the map, and you're like, oh, let me just run over it in my car, and it's like, oh, I have to get outside of get out of my car to pick it up.
Well, we had gotten out of the car to fight this, and like you have to walk through this tunnel, and then I think the sequence of events is supposed to be you shoot these guys, and while they're shooting at you, the guy with the drugs runs out the back and gets in a car and drives away, and you're supposed to kill all these guys and get in the other car and then drive after him. So I got out there I don't know, he was like waiting for us or something, and he got in the car as soon as he saw me and drove away, and I got into the other car, and then at this point I realized that the other guy was actually a real person because he started running after it on foot. And I was like, I don't, maybe the computer would do that. And I was like, oh wait, that looks like a real username. It's like, oh my gosh, that's another person. And so he got in the car that I was driving, and we started chasing this guy down. And he was like shooting at the other guy. And I'm really bad at shooting while driving, so I was glad that there was this other guy doing it. And then after a while, he stopped and was like, "What's going on?" And so I started doing it too. And then I stopped. Like, oh, I know what happened. He ran out of bullets, so now he's just sort of sitting in this car waiting for me. And I've run out of bullets, and now we're just trying to ram this other car off the road, and it took like 10 minutes or something. Around the 9-minute mark, the other guy jumped out, and I was like, yeah, he's probably annoyed that I haven't been able to get this done. Well, I'll keep chasing him, and then suddenly I see he's also in another SUV, and we're like, 2 SUVs are running into this one sports car, and it's not stopping. Finally, we get it stopped, and I jump out of the car, or I see him. So this is when it messed up. Like, he jumped out of the car and disappeared. I was like, what happened? And then the guy with the drugs jumped out of his car and disappeared. And then I jumped out of my car, and then my car disappeared. And then the world disappeared. And I was stood there like, what is happening? And yeah, I guess it entirely glitched out, but didn't crash, because after a few minutes of waiting, I appeared back at that cutscene again, explaining the whole job. Except this time we had 4 people. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Now we have a gang. And then, but that time I was like, you know what? I don't want to go through it again. So I just ran through, took all the bullets, and then just capped that guy before he got to the car and picked up the drugs. I was like, yes! We didn't have to play that whole thing.
So is that like the tutorial when Lamar drops you off, or is that another stage after that?
It's like the second part. So Lamar
Yeah,
drops you
second
off
one.
the first time, and you do like a race, and then the second one is this job.
Okay, because I saw there's like issues with the tutorial level. I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, it was the race that I couldn't get into initially, and then finally I got into the race, and then it put me in that, and then there was the weird glitch, but it didn't kill my machine, and then and then I was like, oh, you know, you have money in your pocket, but you should put it in the bank, otherwise anyone who kills you will be able to steal it. And I looked at the map thing, it looks like everyone's pretty far away from me. I should be safe. No.
So is there like a way to know like how much money someone has at them at any given time in the game, or
No.
do you just like roll up on them?
Yeah, I don't think
Unless they have a bounty, you can't know
Okay.
how much they have. And then I don't know. I don't get why people kill people in a game. Like other players kill other players. Like it's more. It sucks to be on the kill end of it, because if you get killed in a game, a huge chunk of your money
Yeah.
gets taken out of the hospital bills, and it's really hard to make money in a game, and it sucks. Because I still remember I was like in a where was I? I was robbing a convenience store, and as soon as I got out, this guy just came ramming in, but he hit the pole, so he didn't hit me. So like I covered behind my car, and he starts like shooting out of the car. But I was like, this guy's not getting out of his car to shoot me. So that's kind of weird. So I just shot him. Then like, okay, Gamer 12 killed this guy. Like, okay. Then I was just walking around. Then like all of a sudden I see in the rear this white dot speeding towards me, and I get just jacked really hard. Like, oh. And I saw the same username that I just killed. Like, oh Jesus, this guy got revenge. And it's pretty cool because there's like a mini scoreboard against that player. So it shows his name, his avatar, and has 1, and versus Gamer 12 1. So it's like 1 and 1 against this one dude, and you could play like a mini death match against him. Like, that's so cool, man. But it's kind of sucks because like when you die, you lose so much money, and I don't know. I don't think I could kill other people in games because it's so frustrating to be in the kill line of that. So it sucks.
Well, hopefully when they expand it to include heists, it'll be easier to get money.
Yeah, and it's weird because right now they're gating missions too,
Really?
behind levels. So like once you reach like level 75, there's a mission that you can get. I was like, oh,
Huh.
really? They do that?
Man.
That sucks. I'm just waiting until I reach like, because like, once you reach level 15, you unlock like horde mode missions. Like, oh shit, cannot wait.
Sweet. Rampage. Yeah, I played my first Rampages today. Oh, so I finally got a chance to play the single
I
player.
was about to say, Chad, you played the single player.
Yeah. It was funny because like that day, it was in the daytime, and I usually don't have much time in the daytime, so I thought, well, I would like to be able to play a stretch of single player, and I don't have the time, so that's why I jumped into multiplayer, and it took forever, but finally got in. I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, recently I got a chance to play more single player. It's interesting. It seems like, yeah, it really feels like greatest hits Grand Theft Auto, because you got Michael, who's sort of like Tommy Vercetti, and you got Franklin, who's sort of like CJ's character, and then you have, although I miss, how you could make CJ really buff in San Andreas, like he could be really giant with an afro,
Or make him really fat.
and you can't, like, yeah, you can make it really fat too, and you can't do any of that stuff here, so like, it's not as cool. And then I finally got to the Trevor part, and I think it's weird. Like when I started playing Trevor, I was like, this feels more like old Grand Theft Auto, whereas I don't feel bad about grabbing any car I want. I'm just like driving along, and people don't like Trevor on the street, I guess. So I've punched a lot of random people as Trevor, but as Franklin and Michael, it's like it never feels right. I always go back to their car. I'll sometimes walk for blocks on end to get back to Franklin's house to get his car to do missions. But with Trevor, it's like whatever. So that's been really cool. I got my first chances to swim in the ocean and the lake, and I was like, oh, this is neat. I'm being underwater in Grand Theft Auto. It only took 5 games. And I guess that's the progression, right? In the sequel you can swim, and then a few games later you'll be able to dive under the water. Got to do my first heists, so those were really fun. I sort of thought it would be like Assassin's Creed, where it's actual missions that are preparing for the heist, but they're more like they've done it really well in the open world sense, where it's just, this truck that you have to steal is just driving around the open world.
Oh yeah, that was really
you
cool.
can just go get it. It's like, oh, that's really cool.
So did you choose the loud or stealthy approach?
I've been going stealth approach.
That's the right answer.
It worked out really well. Although they did throw in. So, is this a spoiler? Sort of. Is it? Maybe. So like you get to choose.
Still,
like,
like, anybody hasn't played Tropical, it made $1 billion. Seriously.
And yeah, this is only the first heist, so unless you're slower than me, which is really hard now. Yeah, you get to choose your crew, and then they're talking like better crew ask for a bigger cut. And so yeah, the stealth route, you feel like, oh, I don't need the gun guy, and so I chose the cheaper gun guy, and then he does mess up the job. Somehow, despite all the odds, messes up the job, so we get less money.
Yeah, see, I was like so paranoid about that, of like, do I want to pick someone that takes a bigger cut, or has like better stats, or has like worse stats, or doesn't take a big cut? So I was like, well, I don't want to. I want to get as much money as possible, but I don't want to give them any money. But I guess I'll just go ahead and pick the ones with the best stats. So I did that.
So you got all the best people.
Yeah.
And
But apparently in the
okay.
like the random people that you come across, that you do missions for, you can recruit them for missions if they're like a certain NPC. So because apparently like Packy's in the game, but I didn't even get that in my first playthrough. So I was like, that's another reason why I'm doing my second playthrough. Is like I gotta get Packy in my game. So
Did you get the car driver?
yeah, I got the driver.
Mexican chick who had like the best skills. Like she had like 4% cut. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna use her.
Yeah, I had her in the final mission or the final heist. Because like I was like,
So wait,
let's see how good your driving skills are.
You used all high class people in your first job. Was it just like a perfect run?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh,
Actually, I did that for like the rest of my heist. I was like, well, I'm not taking any chances. I was like, I don't care about the cut.
well, see, so that part was interesting because it tells you later that they improved their skills, but their cut doesn't change.
Yeah,
And
I was
was
angry
like,
about that.
I was thinking, so can I do that all the time? But I'm not really sure what happened to the gun guy. Like, did he die? I
Yeah,
mean,
he dies.
he dies.
Yeah, he's gone from your pool because I had chosen all lower tier people because I want to get the most money as possible. Because you were getting like what 4 million in that job. It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
But like so what happens? Like we were on motorcycles and like one of them gets capped, and he drops the money. Then you, as Franklin,
He
you're
shot, really?
yeah, he got shot.
Wow.
Before like we were on the remember like a Terminator 2 looking thing.
Yeah.
That segment. Before we went into the tunnels, he got shot and he dropped his case. So I was, as Franklin, I was able to pick up his share and continue on with the mission.
Oh.
So we were able to get more money because he died. But no, but the thing is like in the results screen, it will show you casualties, crew of casualty crew payment. So you pay his family or something.
Oh.
So you still get deducted, but it's like you still continue the mission, which is cool.
Wait,
I've
so
always-
you chose all of the lower cut people?
Yeah, because I want to get the lower cut, but I still want to increase their stats at the same time.
And that was the only thing that happened?
Yeah,
Like
that was
out of the ordinary?
yeah. The guy got killed, and like the driver guy didn't know. Like he didn't know. It was like what was it called? Franklin kept on talking to the guy. It's like, do you know where to go, dude? I think it's this way. Like, so I just followed that dude. It's like, this is taking a long time. Maybe this is why if you choose a lower tier person, like it takes a longer time to drive to your destination. But maybe if I choose a higher class person, maybe it would have taken a shorter time. Like Tekken, how did your playthrough go?
Well, on my one, I kept the same crew throughout all the missions, except for the last one I chose the driver lady, because I was like, well, I don't know. Because you needed more people at the final one, so I ran out of all the high stats people. I was like, well, she's a good driver.
On your first one, like nothing.
So did you,
Yeah, nothing went wrong. We like got all the
so
money.
did you still go through the sewers and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
it was like
It
everybody
was
made
like
it.
3 people driving through the sewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, with mine, because I chose high quality for everyone except for the gun guy, because I felt like, oh, we don't need him. And then he falls off his bike as you're entering the sewers. And then the first time, like my game froze once during this heist, and he fell off, and then like the 4 million counter at the bottom automatically dropped to 3 million. And then I guess like we were just gonna lose the jewels that guy had because no one picked him up. But other than that, it was okay. But then the second time it said that I picked him up the jewels. I was like, I don't remember doing that.
That's cool.
Interesting. Yeah, after I saw their stats improve, I was like, oh, I want to do one where it's like all the low class guys and see what happens. So, but I like that. I guess you can pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Like you have the opportunity to do that, or
It seems like in the later missions, it doesn't get that bad. It just gets like either. I had this one mission where this one guy, because maybe he was lower grade, but he got wiped out like by a cop. It's like, oh shit, that sucks.
Wow.
Because I think it depends on your gun guy. If you get better weapons, maybe if he will succeed. But
Oh, okay.
capped pretty early. But I just love the choice. That even though it's only 2 choices, how to approach the heist, but it's like either choice is like so awesome,
Yeah.
so different. So it's gonna be cool playing it a second time.
Awesome. So yeah, I am around the 20% mark now. And yes, it's I'm starting to enjoy the driving a bit more. One, just because the driving mechanics itself are easier. Like Grand Theft Auto 4 was really hard, and also it seems like, and I have a problem with Rockstar's design of traffic lights. In Grand Theft Auto 4, in Liberty City, the traffic lights were in the wrong place. So if you actually pulled up and stopped at a traffic light, from that viewpoint, you can't see when the light turns green because it's right above you. It should be on the other side of the intersection. And so in Grand Theft Auto 5, they're in the right place. But like without fail, every time I approach a traffic light, it will be red. And I'm sitting there like, did they do this on purpose? Like it simulates what it's like to drive in LA without
it's
putting
cool
a ton of
because-
cars on the street?
Well, not like for like the street traffic, but like when you're on the highway and it's like really gridlocked, it does seem like you're driving in like LA traffic. That's how I felt. 'Cause it's just like there's like so many cars on the road and just like back to back traffic.
Man. Yeah, the street lights are. Oh, I hit them. It's like this is weird. Like I like having realistic sort of street light patterns and stuff, but this doesn't seem realistic. This seems like they impede you on purpose and they want you to break those traffic laws.
Maybe it's just an unlucky day for you, Tropical. I have those days
Every single
sometimes.
day has been unlucky. So yeah, and I've started to ignore them. I was like, this is dumb. I mean, I could think of potentially, if you wanted it to be realistic while also having traffic lights, you could program them to actually turn green before the player reaches them ever, and then it would still feel like a realistic world. You were just, you weren't ever stopped by this, but they did not do that.
I think you're right, Trap, though, because like every time I cross an intersection, 50% of the time I'll get T-boned.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
What is going on? It sucks. And then, yeah, a lot of the missions are timed. So, now I am ignoring traffic laws. In addition, I played through all of Rain. I did that in 2 sittings. And, it seemed longer than you described. You said, what, 2 hours?
I don't remember what I said.
Okay, it was something like that. It seemed longer than that, and man, as I was saying, it's it's pretty intense. The game, it feels like survival horror more than whatever it was that I thought it was gonna be.
I know, it's like it loses that feeling of what you thought it was gonna be, like after the first chapter.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, it's a storybook game, sort of like Unfinished Swan, and then you're walking, it's like, wow, that monster is kind of terrifying, and then you go to like the dark world.
And then like the fact that it's like the same monster that's harassing you the whole game, and it's like it feels like Nemesis. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, go away.
The character is like, no, you did not.
I know. Stop following me.
I think it's a
But,
gurgling sound it makes. Like it's. Ugh.
It's freaky. But man, yeah, I really like the game. And so I mentioned this last week when I was saying I started Lone Survivor and I turned off trophy notifications, but it feels really different having no trophies pop up. I actually highly recommend it to people who don't like trophies. And even if you do like trophies, occasionally having it off is very it changes the pacing or the feel of the pacing of games. Whereas, when they're on, not only do you have the chapter breaks that say, end of the chapter, you also have another thing telling you, hey, this was the end of that chapter. And, well, actually, I have no idea if that's how Rain is, but, I can imagine some other games would feel like that, and just not having them at all, like, oh, this is... yeah, a good example, Grand Theft Auto. Certain missions have the trophies pop up. And so, in the past, like with Grand Theft Auto 4, that always felt like, oh, this is that was the end of a section, and now we're moving on into another section of the game. And just having them all off, it's like, oh, it's just, it all flows into the next part. It's all very seamless feeling. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this for a while, and only turn them back on when I'm going for trophies. Very cool. What else did I play? I think did I pick up anything else? I I got as far as opening the shrink wrap on Beyond.
Oh,
Oh.
oh my gosh.
So sad. Did you get the GameStop version?
I did.
The
steel
metal
case,
box
yeah.
one? Yeah. I gotta say though, I like the cover of the paper box part better than the front of the steel book.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the art for the still part.
Yeah. But other than that, it is a nice case, I suppose.
Oh, tragic.
I have nothing to say about Beyond because I haven't played it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've been able to play.
Well, I've only been playing Beyond because picked it up and then I put it in and did not. Okay, it's weird. Like my PS3 froze twice. I'm guessing from like trophy stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but like it was like it was like after your section finished and then like the screen went black, and then little loading light on the PS3 was like flashing, and then it stopped, and I was like, okay, well I'll just sit here for a bit, and then nothing else happened, and then I just one time I was able to quit out of the game. The other time I had to do a hard reboot. So I was like, oh, so that kind of sucked. But it's an amazing game. I'm not gonna say too much about it because Travel hasn't played it, but I enjoyed it a lot. I tweeted, "Thank you, Quantic Dream, for making an amazing interactive experience. I enjoyed this game very much, and it was awesome." That wasn't like a word for word, but it was like it was a great game, and I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, it was like if Heavy Rain was less gamey than Beyond, so like this one was like more game stuff, or like it was more refined as well, but it felt like a better experience. So it's like I was okay with that because it was more just better, well done, and just I didn't put it down for like 8 hours until I finished it. So I just gurged through that or cracked out on that, and it was yeah. I regret nothing those 8 hours of my life that are gone because it was totally worth it. And
Man.
yeah, that was a great game. I loved it. Oh, besides that, did I play? Oh, okay, so on PSP, I restarted Arc the Lad, and then after I finish that one, I'm going to pick up the other two on the PSN store so I can finally play through 2 and 3 since I remember playing it and liking it, but then I started this one, I was like, I forgot how to play, and then I was getting the crap beat out of me, and I was like, I need to level up, and so, yeah, I had to relearn how to play the game again, so enjoying that. Arc the Lad, still good. Let's see what else. I think that's it, because Resident Evil 6. Okay, so it's weird. Resident Evil 6, they have these online thingies on the ResidentEvil.net where it's like it's not the same as the weekend operations, which it's like these things that you go and do in the game to get like this stuff that's like online currency. There's like 2 types of currency. It's weird. There's like actually I think there's one type of currency, but you can only use it on like in-game items, but it's like just costumes. So it's like basically you can use it to like unlock the costumes for the mercenaries mode way easier than you can to get like A rank on all the stages, which I have not done yet because I was like whatever. Because I didn't go back and like play all the mercenary stuff. When I went back and played it, I just didn't unlock it all. So I ended up getting the the bonus costumes for a bunch of the characters, but then they also have like they're called EX3 costumes, which is basically the graphical style of Resident Evil like 2 or 3 or like the older ones.
Oh yeah,
it's like all pixelated.
I think I got one of those earlier.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's for the like Resident Evil 6 characters in like a different costume. So I got like Leon in the REPD outfit, Ada in her red outfit from RE2, and then Sherry in her little. It's like weird because like her character, the character model is like that of her like child self in RE2, so it's so super weird. And I want to play it so I can like have her running around shooting stuff in that character model because I'm sure it'd look ridiculous. But those are the 3 I have unlocked. I might have like one more, but I don't have the other 3. So, and then like all the bonus costumes are like the EX2 costumes I have, except for I think Helena and somebody else. And apparently you can unlock a secret character if you get like other stuff unlocked. So I saw that on because I was looking up on GameFAQs like how do I unlock this stuff, because like apparently you can only unlock the EX3 stuff through the ResidentEvil.net. So I was like, oh well, I gotta get the last one so I can not have to worry about it anymore and then have them all. So yeah, but I found out that there's a bonus or a hidden character, so I was like, oh well,
Who's the character?
it's Helena's sister.
Oh.
But I'm wondering if it's like her character model where she's naked or not. So that'll be weird.
The monster version.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to unlock that. I've been meaning to play Splinter Cell 'cause I need to do it for my YouTube. Oh, I already talked about Red Dead last week. That's my gush all over it. I did not play that. Let's see, Splinter Cell, Resident Evil. I haven't played GTA 5. I boycotted it after I couldn't get online. I put that video up on YouTube. I was like, F you, GTA. And I waited a week and it still had issues. So I was like, ugh, I guess I'll try it out on. Well, it's like I want to try it out on Friday, but then they're having like this Borderlands 2 event where like every day there's gonna be objectives.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're gonna like give away prizes. So it's like, ugh, I have to play that every day now. But
The 100K loot hunt.
I know it's like I wanna think I'm gonna win, but I don't think I will. But I'll still try it. So yeah.
It looks really fun.
So I will do that in the beginning part of whenever I wake up that day, and then I will play GTA 5 online for the rest of the day. So next week I'll be talking all about GTA 5 online, and hopefully it's working by then. But that's, I believe, yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Yeah, I've just been playing Killzone Mercenaries on Vita. That game looks amazing. It's shocking comparing that, and then you look at like Resistance Burning Skies. Like this looks like a PSP game in comparison. It's crazy, man. That game so good. Even though stealth sections are kind of crap, but I just kill everyone, so that's cool. Then GTA Online. Oh wait, GTA Online it's a totally different game from standard single player GTA 5, because like when you steal a car in the game, if you go by a cop, he knows it's a stolen car, so you get 1 star, and you can't do anything about it except for repainting it, which costs a lot of money.
What?
So the only time you're not gonna get caught is if you use your own personal car, which you get tracked or whatever, or you put your insurance on it.
Mm.
That's the only car you could go past a cop car and he won't spot you unless you repaint the car, which sucks.
Can you still take taxis in online mode?
Yes, but you cannot skip.
Ah.
You can only hurry up the driver. And then,
That's funny.
yeah.
That's how I always ride in the taxis in that game. Sometimes I don't even hurry up. And sometimes they sit at the intersection for a long time. It's like, why aren't we going?
And like in the tutorial section, they force you to do a match with other people. And the first match I was in like with 4 people, or my second match, because like the game crapped out, so I had to redo the section again. The second time though, it was like 2 against 2. I was gunning for this dude. He was like in a corner in cover mode, and he was like doing that blind fire at me. So it's like he's not shooting at me. So I'm like, I ready aim my pistol to take him out as he's gonna come out of cover, right? And as he gets out of cover, he headshots me. I was like, oh, god damn it! And it's last man standing, which only means you only have 1 life. So it's like, I feel so ungamer like. Yeah, the game is really cool. Hopefully, because they patched it again today to resolve the lost character issue. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll be able to get some more levels and then have some fun. But then, like Beyond, I hate it. I hate the game.
What?
Really?
Really?
I love like Indigo Prophecy. I love Heavy Rain, but I fucking hate this game.
Why do you hate it?
I don't like it. I don't like how it's like the story is progressing. Like it goes back and forth with no context whatsoever.
I think that works to its benefit when you get to the end, because it's like you have like filled in all the holes. And then, did you finish it, gamer?
No, I'm
Okay,
at I'm in like that African country scene.
Well, there's multiple endings, but like on the ending I picked, there's like a cool part where like it felt like it made sense of like why that was happening in the epilogue.
Oh, okay. It's still shit.
But
Like
it didn't
I
bother
don't
me.
understand.
The non-chronological order didn't bother me.
It bothered me because it's like you have your highs and then like you have your lows, but then like it makes no sense next to each other. It's like, okay, for example, I'm gonna do these scenes out of context so it won't disrupt Tropical's playthrough. In one scene, you're a kid just doing some shit like I don't care. You're playing around. Then the next scene, you're being hunted in the demo. Like, what does that have to do with anything in this game? Like, there's no relevant information I'm getting as a kid that will help me as an adult or something. Ah,
I was glad it did not take the chronological order because it would have been like weighed down at the beginning when you're a kid, and like other sections of the game that are not as enjoyable as like when you have more access to Aiden than like you don't.
yeah. But then you wouldn't get that steady crescendo to like a really high point. You get these like high points, like triangle looking things, and your shit, your story is just like up down up down up down rather than like curves in the story.
I disagree. I think it works to the effect of like the chapter breaks in The Last of Us, where it's like you have this crazy stuff go down, and you have to come down from that and be like, let me absorb
Yeah,
this.
you come down, but you don't come down in a totally different scene and a totally different year. Yeah, that's totally out of context to what's ever happening. Like, it's terrible. I don't know why.
And then when you get to the end, you can fill in all the blanks anyway,
Why
gamer.
Cage? It's not just filling the blanks because the blanks are filled with the story.
Yeah,
But
but
the thing is,
you would know already. We already know. We know. Yeah, when you get to the end, you'll know what happened anyway. So it's like you didn't even have the right order.
no, because like a small example. It's not gonna spoil anything. In the first like third what is it called, like probably a third or fourth chapter, you have this training montage. You're already in this like section,
I love that part when you join.
but then that's cool. But it's like, okay, why is she doing this? Before I was just a kid playing around. And then like later on, like 5-6 chapters later, they finally tell you, oh, why she's going to that section. And it's like what the fuck? Like, that's stupid.
I'm
I know you disagree, but it's like, I know this is the common consensus with this game. Is like it's split down the middle. It's like people either hate it or they will like it, the decisions they made, and I'm on the side that hate it. Like,
Just
I
because
just
it's out
don't
of order.
understand.
Is that the only
Yes.
reason that you hate it? Really, gamer?
It makes no sense.
You
It makes no sense.
hate the game because it's out of order.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I think it's a technical marvel. It looks amazing.
It looks amazing. B, it plays so much better than Heavy Rain.
It
C,
plays better. Yes.
Helen Pages and like every effing other actor in the effing game, their performance is so good.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
She
That is
destroys
my
Bim
point.
Trip. Like,
Everything is
it is
so
good.
great.
Like I was
But
like,
the only thing that's destroying it is this out of order
whatever.
chapter.
Like before this game, I thought like freaking, wow, I forgot the voice actor. What's Bim Trip's voice actor? I forgot her name.
Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, Jennifer Hill. Like before this game, I thought like Jennifer Hill, she's at the top. Like there's nobody that can come by and dethrone her. And then like through this game, the experience I had with Ellen Page, like playing as Jodie, just killed it. Like just destroyed it, dethroned Femtrip, and like just like nothing, just nothing, just. And then there's these amazing monologues that she has. Like I don't care if it's out of order, dude. There's such good moments. Like the monologue she has, like when like it's like funny as you're like playing because like you're watching it and it's like so cinematic that you're like kind of watching a crazy person if you're like just watching because she's like talking to her ghost friend and she's like, not now, I I need to get some sleep, or like we're in the desert or we're walking, could you just not do anything crazy? Just all these moments, just to me like all that stuff outweighs just like, oh, it's out of order, so whatever, gamer.
No, for me, it kills.
I'm
It
gonna
kills
hate the game
pace.
because it's out of order. Gamer love.
Yes, I love everything else about it, but this out of order thing just makes no sense. Like,
Oh my gosh.
if it had a context, like, oh, showing her younger self, showing what happened, and it sort of evolves into this certain scene that happens in the future. Okay, that makes sense. Like the bar scene in relation to the scene in our apartment later on.
Well,
Okay,
the cool thing is like
that's the connection.
the cool thing is
But
though
if
that
it's,
like
like,
later on, like a lot of that stuff is like referenced, so it's like you've had that past experience and then it's like brought up again.
Yes, but it's referenced. But if it's referenced out of order, like showing her in this training program, but then showing the scene 6 scenes later of how she got into the program, that makes no
yeah,
sense.
but there's scenes before that when she's at the embassy and you're like, why is she here? And then you find it out later. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. To me, it's like I appreciate that it's not in like chronological order because it's like it's like respecting the audience to like this game doesn't be like every other effing game to be like, oh, here's part 1 or chapter 2 chapter 3 blah 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 until you get to the end. It's like, oh, linear game that you go through from beginning to end, and here you go, just like every other game.
And I so disagree because the intro is is what that's cool that you could keep the intro like where they show her.
Oh,
in the,
even though it's not in order.
no, you could have that. Remember, like in Uncharted 2, where they show Drake
I haven't played
falling
Uncharted
like
2.
in the train. Oh god damn. Topical no.
Yeah.
Drake in that train is like, okay, you're telling the viewer, okay, how did he get up to that point? And that's how the game starts. And same thing and beyond. They do that same exact story point where, okay, there's this very violent part in the beginning. How does this all her life experience get up to that point is what I would like to know. But then the second chapter, oh, she's in this mission, this out of context mission. It makes no sense. And then all of a sudden it comes back to her. What? No, that was after experiment. I don't know. It's just, it's just terrible. I just don't like it. Maybe because like, the thing is, within my second playthrough, I'm gonna play it in order.
I just have
it's probably gonna be a better game.
I just have another reason. Like, and then like also when like you're going through that section where they teach you all that stuff when you're training is like they had to like. I think another reason they broke it up was because like the mechanics that you use would like progress as you're playing through instead of like being stuck at the beginning where you don't get access to a lot of the stuff that you're going to use later on that you use. Because then you wouldn't even be like using the combat stuff like until like way later. So it's like it was something to like get you something in advance of like having to wait way longer than you would have been able to do that and be like, oh, this is so much cooler and so much better than Heavy Rain, where it's like, oh, I'm just stuck here doing all this boring stuff in this lab.
But the mechanics are so easy in the game. It's just like pushing the right stick. Like it doesn't get any more difficult than that. Like you could put it in any other section of the game.
Yeah,
any other scene in the game.
Yeah, but you won't be like that. But not all that you'll be using until like later on though. Even if it is simple, I don't care. Whatever. Gamer's wrong. I don't care what he says.
So it looks really good though.
It's beautiful.
It's
Really?
best graphics of the year.
PS3 game.
Wow.
Yeah. The texture work on the facial, I think the modeling is crazy because like when you see the pores on their face and there's like it doesn't look like low res, it's like how are they doing this?
And then it's cool, Gamer, like the part that you're in, like did you get to the part with the dude comes at you with a knife?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
Because there's a part and like it's like I think when you're doing that section and like if you f up, like the cuts actually stay on your face because I effed up and like there were cuts on your face. That's like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
And what's disappointing because like I played the demo and I was so jacked to play the game. Like, seeing all the different choices, different like outcomes in one section of the game. I was so jacked, and then I played the game. I was like, oh,
see, it's funny.
So
like,
disappointed.
It's funny because like after I finished the game, I went back and watched all the trailers that I'd been like blacking. What's that word? Blackout.
Yeah, blackout.
So like, I saw like all these segments in the game that I didn't even like get in my game. I was like, wait, there's a gas station fight scene. What? I was like, I want to get that in my game. So I still haven't got the gas station shootout. So I'll be trying to get that next week. So.
And the only thing like that's kind of disappointing is like you never get any like incidental stuff like she's looking at notes or something. Like you never get that. You never know what she's thinking sometimes. Like I still remember in Heavy Rain where they had the thing where you press a button and you could see what's in their head. You never get that in this game, and it's kind of sucks. So you only do what they want you to do, and there's like nothing you can. Sometimes as Jodie can't really do anything except what they want you to do to move the story. It's only like certain moments where there's like multiple things to do, like her apartment, or that scene in her apartment.
Oh, that's
like,
great. I love that scene.
You get to choose. Oh, that is so cool. But so out of order. So out of order.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
I love the game though, but if I would play it in a chronological order.
Well, you can play it in chronological order after you finish the game. So
yeah, well, I want to get this 20. I want to get this 23 ending. So get that trophy. And they do the same thing. They hold the trophies until the chapter ends. That's cool. I still like that what they do.
Cool.
But like Tropical said, you could turn them off.
Yes.
It's even better.
Because they're all hidden anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably in this one. Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
there's one that's not hidden, but I think it was just not hidden after I finished the game. Because it was like, view all the endings. I was like, oh, great. I did. Like, and now I'm like, wait, how many endings are there now? Because I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I saw that. I was like, I didn't even want to know.
And I just,
'Cause it seems like
I
there's
just,
a lot.
for some reason, I just noticed in this mission I'm currently on, that there's like bonus stuff when you're
Oh,
idle.
yeah, I didn't even notice that until like the very
I
end,
didn't
dude.
even notice like
And I was
bonus
like
unlocked.
angry
Like,
because I went
bonus
to
unlocked.
I went to the menu.
This has been happening for the entire game. There's just like
Yeah.
shit like this.
You can only see it when you're using Iden, so
Yeah,
that's annoying. But whatever.
because like it's, man, the scenes themselves are so good, but
But the game's terrible. I hate it.
the story structure is terrible. Cage, you suck. David Cage. The scenes are so good. There's like the scenes are so like intense, but then like they're so out of context with each other. It's like, why should I give a fuck? Ah. David Cage. You know, I think David Cage, he has that George Lucas syndrome where it's like he's too involved with everything in the game that it just, makes it shit. Once you remove him from certain parts of certain roles, maybe the future games will be better.
Mm.
So if there's DLC that came out and it was chronological game, would you buy it?
Chronological. I can just play chapters to play in order.
No, I mean like a new like.
It seemed like there's gonna be DLC for it because there's like a downloadable content
Yeah.
option. So I don't know what they're gonna do there, but yeah.
It's out of order. It's out of order. So you're saying like movies can be out of order, but games can't?
When movies are tell me a movie that's out of order, other than Memento, because Memento did it right.
Pulp Fiction. Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs was basically wasn't it just like everyone was telling their story of what happened or something?
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
Also, like Pulp Fiction's like, sure there was like relatable story element, like some characters were in certain other stories, but like they were never really connected. I don't know.
What about Arrested Development Season 4?
That made sense though, because everything was on a path. Like each episode was a character, and each character was in that same time frame as all the other episodes, right? That worked. Like also, God damn it, there's another show. I can't remember. I was like thinking about it during work. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the linearity, but in a non-linear fashion, like that worked. Shit. But yeah, it works in movies because there's a context and there's a purpose to the scene placement. Here, it's so random. If it wasn't random, I wouldn't give. I would be praising the game, but it's random. It's too random for me. It's too random for the player to not make sense of it, but it's like it just doesn't fit with the scene next to it. If you could understand me.
I guess I will see.
Yeah, you'll see. You probably, I don't know. You probably disagree with me because like the people that love it, they'll defend the out of chapter placement, but the people that hate it hate the writing, which is like video game writing. Where it's like,
I thought it was pretty good.
yeah, it's not terrible. It's like
There's no origami killers.
Game killers.
the only thing that was like shoddy writing was like there's this party.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
And like there's a character, like you do something with a character, then later on he becomes totally opposite of what he was just like a minute ago. It's like, what? But yeah, that was a great great scene, but it doesn't fit.
Oh, it's out of order. I don't care anyway. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. Waste of money. What about it?
Well, I'm not platinum it. I don't give a shit. I love the company, but the game's shit because of that chapter thing. Ah. I think it just kills me because I loved Heavy Rain. I loved it.
See, I played this and I was like, man, this is so much better. Like, just like Heavy Rain has its quirks and I haven't played in a while, but like this one is like more gamey and it feels like all the stuff that was lacking in Heavy Rain is like better or refined in this one. So, and
I think
it still has like the cinematic flair of like it's not. It feels like it still has like it's feeling like a movie because it's like it's not like a game where it's like, oh, here's a health bar, here's the HUD, and all this other crap. So.
I think the big difference with Beyond is like when they captured people doing their voiceover parts, they captured them
On a stage.
on the set,
Yeah.
on the stage. But in Heavy Rain, what they did, they separated it, where they acted out the parts, then later on they dubbed it
Yeah,
with
but-
the same actors, but it's still not the same. As in Beyond, where it's like sometimes like my brain switches off, and sometimes I think I'm just watching like real people on the screen. Like it's so uncanny. It's crazy. Oh man, the game looks so good. That's one thing, man. The game looks so good.
I was kind of worried about that because sometimes it looked not good in the previews and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
So we haven't had Gamer on in a while, and I actually expected him to surpass me much quicker, but trophy-wise, I am slightly ahead right
Yeah,
now.
I've slowed down.
I had a huge lead for a while, and then Gamer was like, he was playing a lot more games than I was, and I thought, oh well, he's gonna take the lead again pretty soon, and that hasn't happened yet, so I've been surprised. But we're getting close again.
I think I gave up on getting trophies because like it's like, do I want to spend time getting trophies or do I just want to play a new game? I'll just play a new game.
Well, because for a while it seemed like I wasn't playing anything, and then it seemed like you were playing more PC games at the time, and then
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, recently there's been some PS3 games that came out, and like you're way further, like you beat GTA, right? And I'm like nowhere in that game.
But GTA, man, they hold your
would you say
trophies.
that GTA?
That's
like,
true.
Would you agree that like GTA 5 doesn't feel like it is as long as 4 is?
GTA 5 is long, dude.
'Cause I don't know, dude. Like when I cracked out on it, I just felt like I was like, that's it. I was like,
I think if I look at my play clock, it's like 40 hours.
I know, but
Well, Tekken, I mean, you lost a day. You were just like, it's Wednesday?
yeah, I remember that.
So
I think-
Funny too, because like when I
maybe-
went back and looked at
maybe
my
it was
stream
longer.
times and like combined them, I was like, holy crap, that's like over 20 hours of streaming straight. That's ridiculous.
I think for me, 4 felt longer because 5 is more fun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's for me. Like 5 is so good. Like it's so fun to play. The missions, like it never stops. It never gets boring.
Mm,
In 4, there was a lull once you get to like Packy, I think. Then you get that
Yeah.
mission. It's like high point, but then it goes back down. Never reaches that high again. This one, once you get those missions, man, oh my god, it's so good. But yeah, I think, man, Tropical, but you're still early in the game.
yeah.
It's gonna take you a
Yeah.
while.
Just got Trevor, and it's interesting because well, I guess I sort of did that with Nico too. With Nico, I walked around and felt like, oh, I'm Nico living in the city, and then so that's why I always took taxis. It's like, well, that's not my car, and Nico seems like he's trying to be a good guy, so I'm not going to make him steal stuff. And so I took lots of cab rides, and I didn't skip them. So, and in this one, I kind of do the same thing, except now with 3 characters. Sometimes I'll like switch to a character and then look around, like, okay, what can I do around here? And if there's nothing, then I'll switch to another character. And so there's sort of an element of chance for me there too. So I have a little bit of that Red Dead feeling where I am distracted by stuff,
Oh.
or like I'm too far away from the missions. I was like, I'll just switch to someone else and see if they're close to any of their missions.
I think no one can match Rockstar's open world level
I agree.
design.
Like I played after playing GTA 5. I was like, I feel sorry for Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed because they're not even gonna come close.
So why do you think that is? You think it's because of the just amount of interactivity in their worlds,
Weren't
or
we gonna have this?
It's not. I don't think it's
conversation
because
for like weekly thingy.
yeah, that's true. Like eventually,
But like, I
for-
feel it is like a thing of as far as like GTA is just like it's set in a contemporary modern setting, and it just does a good job of like playing on all the like the timely issues that are like that it's satirizing. So it does that, and then like just the feel of the worlds are so good. Like Red Dead feels like Wild West. Like you play GTA 4, it feels like New York. Like you play this one, it feels like Southern California. So it does a good job of like nailing the atmosphere of like where it's trying to convey you're at.
and it feels like there's like you could know where you're at on the map without looking at the map. Sort of feel of the game. Where in other games where it's like you look at buildings like, oh, where am I? Everything looks the same. And here everything is so craftily detailed. And it kind of sucks because I think there's like nothing to do in the game once you finish
I know.
everything.
I hate that.
Like once you finish the parachute jumps and everything, because like there's not much you could do even if you have a ton of money. You could play golf, you could play tennis, but then once you play those, like, oh, I play it once, like, oh, I'll never do it again. And you watch a movie, okay, okay, that's cool for a while, but there's like you can't really like let's say like they remove vigilante missions, which were my favorite because you could just go into a cop car and then press L1, bring up the computer. It's like, oh, who's getting who got called? Just like take them out. But then they remove that, so it's like the only thing you do extra in the game is just do taxi missions, which are kind of boring.
Yeah.
But,
Also, I was also kind of like I was thinking about it, and like they like have the property, but it's not as good as it was in Vice City because Vice City had like actual missions with the property, whereas this
and in San Andreas, you have to fend yourself against other gangs taking over, and you have to like take them out.
yeah, this one is just like go deliver this or go protect your property. It's not that involved as the mission.
Like I wish you were able to buy like stores or like houses like or something, because it's kind of weird that you only have one house to go to. It's like I just want to buy something in the city and then like live there away from my family, but you can't. Only online. So
that's they don't want people in the single player world. They want people in the online world.
yeah, there is more to do actually on like the survival mode I talked about. It's only an online. It's never in single player.
Yeah.
And there's like the multi-tiered missions, and the missions are different in multiplayer because they're oriented towards multiple people. It's like, oh man. So you're basically single player is like 60% of the full game. You're not getting everything. Kind of sucks.
Wow.
But yeah, it's still fun.
Speaking of the online, our crew, Aimless Podcast, APBZ, Aimless Podcast Babble Z, is recruiting still. Open recruitment, so join if you want. We have 12 people right now. That's really cool. And apparently, what we're best at is tennis. It's kind of neat. You can go to the Rockstar Social Club website and look at the stats for your crew. And apparently, we've played one death match and we lost, 2 team death matches and we lost. But if you go to tennis, and racing, 7 wins, 0 losses. Tennis is 12 wins and 1 loss. So, yay! Whoever's really good at tennis right now. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is weird, especially since that's like 12 matches. Why would you be spending your time in GTA Online playing tennis? Whatever.
Oh, and the shooting is good in Grand Theft Auto. You could like shoot people in the legs and they'll fall down, but they'll not get killed. So that's cool.
It's fun.
All right, so
yeah, I guess I've been rapping.
is that how you've been playing, gamer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I think it's time to sign off, Tropical.
Join our crew, Aimless Podcasts. Let me see if there's a. It's just. Oh, it's really long. socialclub.rockstargames.com/crew/aimless underscore podcasts is our crew. And I think you can join it directly in the game.
Yeah.
And you can, like, I can send messages to people in the game, so that's really neat. And then, yeah, eventually when they get all the crew stuff all working in the way that they want it to be, we will team up and do some heists. Hooray! Can't wait to have someone watching my back so they don't shoot me in the back of the head. Random gang violence. Anyway, yeah, so another live podcast. Check us out at aimlesspodcast.com, on Twitch, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Do you have anything to say, Gamer, before we sign off?
Nah, I haven't been twitching, or is that what you call it? People have been twitching.
I didn't say that.
Just follow me on Twitter, because I kind of killed Facebook. I'm trying to weed myself off of Facebook because I was getting so invested in other people's lives. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter. That's it. Gamer12.
Alright, so Gamer may say the pace is off, and beyond, I disagree. You can check out my Twitch, or my Twitch stream of it, because I did stream the whole game, so it's a little under 9 hours, but you can just come and go as you please and watch it until it's done, and then judge for yourself.
It's a full day's work.
It almost is. Wow, but yeah, and until you hear from us again, Aimless Podcasts, and we're now signing off.
Man, I can't remember what the sign-off was last week. It seemed really perfect. I just don't remember what it was.
I don't either. I guess I'll have to go back and listen to it. But so what were your thoughts on GTA 5, Gamer?
I loved it.
Oh, I guess this is also going to be a Twitch exclusive for those still listening, or until we upload the archive to YouTube, and then you can listen to it there.
I loved it.
I did.
I didn't hate Trevor like other people do. It's like people don't like Trevor. It's like Trevor's freaking hilarious.
Trevor is my favorite character so far. It like, he perfectly fits the world that I think, like, he perfectly embodies who people usually play as when they play Grand Theft Auto, if they're thinking about that.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, yeah, this is the guy. This guy fits in all of the Grand Theft Auto games the way that people play them. And so now I can do everything. Hooray! Liberation!
Oh, and that mission, Tekken, you said on one podcast, I did not feel anything. It's like, am I supposed to feel this?
Oh, yeah, that one. You didn't feel anything either?
And I was like, this is okay. This is just like watching 24. It's like
what the F? Like, I thought that was weird that people reacted so strongly to it. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't feel anything. I don't feel bad about saying that, or that I didn't. So
maybe we're bad people, but I don't. I didn't really feel anything like disgusted or, oh my god, this is so offensive.
And then, like, at the end, Trevor frees the dude anyway. He doesn't kill him like the guy tells him to do. So
The Walking Dead.
It's hilarious why he frees him
yeah,
too,
it makes the
because
whole
it's
point
like,
of, like, you can't trust the government, blah blah blah. That's great.
Because he frees him because he actually wants to prove the point that torture actually works, and he wants to make it so that the guy's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill the guy because he doesn't want to do what the government tells him to do. So he's like a rebel with a cause. But yeah, Trevor's like, there was just one scene, the last mission. There's this character talking to Trevor. It's like, blah 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 blah. Then like you see Trevor's face, like It's like, oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing. I think that was like the one time in the game where I had gut busting laughter. It's like, oh my god.
Was it the big one part? The big one. That part?
No, I think it was a scene where it's like, so you take this money out of here, right? And it's like he looks at Trevor, like Trevor looks at him, it's like I laughed so hard. I don't know why. Cause
Yeah,
like, I don't.
there's some really good like scenes between the NPCs in that game. Like I like the back and forth between Franklin and Lamarck. It's a lot like watching like Ice Cube and Omar Epps in All About the Benjamins or something, or like him and the dude in like the Second Friday movie when like they're just arguing all the time.
Yeah,
It's hilarious. And it's
You know,
just like
I gotta say, I like Franklin, but I hate his friends. Like Franklin wants to get out of the hood, and his friends want to just reel him back in. It's like, you're part of the hood, man. You're part of the hood. It's like Franklin's like, no, I want to get out. And there's like nice back and forth with him and Michael and Trevor. Where it's like, guys, I'm trying to get out of the hood. I'm trying to get out of the gang life, and it's like he's doing the same shit as if he would do with his bros with Michael and Trevor. It's like, I'm stealing cars. I was stealing cars before this. What are you guys doing to me? He's just trying to make a better life for himself.
And then that's like a hilarious cutscene when like Trevor and his aunt, and he's like, "Go buy yourself something nice," and he gives her like some money, and then she's like, "What is this?" Actually, she counts it, and he's like, "I said something nice, not something expensive." That was great. That's like one of my favorite cutscenes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can't wait to finish it. But I must. Gonna buy a house.
Oh, and like one thing in that game, I thought I would be disappointed, but I wasn't. Like, you're not getting money for most of the missions. It's like usually in Grand Theft Auto, it's like when you pass the mission, oh, you got a ton of money. But this game is like you get nothing most of the time. You're just waiting. I think it creates a good build up to those heists because you want to get money so badly.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just prepping. You're just prepping. I'm like, oh, it just pays off finally.
Did you find yourself wanting more after you finished the campaign? Because I did. I was like, oh, I want more. I was like immediately craving more game.
Yeah, I just wanted more story, I guess. Because it's cool when you invite people to like just drink or play darts or something. Story ends. There's actually more dialogue with them.
Oh yeah, I saw that like on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's funny because like the whole game I had not been like replying to like the emails and like text messages, and then like in my second playthrough I was and like seeing like there's actually like more dialogue you get from the stuff they reply to you with. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's a good thing I'm playing through it again the second time because I missed a bunch of stuff.
It seems like there was they had something implemented where you get to choose responses, but they forgot to remove the text where it says pick your response because like there's no response to pick.
Yeah.
There's only one response. So it seemed like they had a system in there, like they had in GTA 4.
Yeah, 4.
With the emails, where you
Oh,
not the
yeah,
email.
right.
No, I'm wrong. You
We
didn't
can
get
only
to
have one
choose.
response. It wasn't.
Yeah, only one response.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted to expand upon that system, but they never had the time, I guess.
I thought it was gonna be like, you know how in Catherine you could pick your response on your cell
Yeah.
phone? And I thought it was like, so if I cancel out and then go in, it'll be a different one. I was like, nope, it's always the same. Like, so how do I do this?
Oh, wait, you just got Trevor, right? Tropical. Did you ever get those mission NPCs where you get to choose where do you want to drop them off?
Yeah. Man, that camp is far.
Do not drop Ursula off because you could have sex with her. Just keep that name in mind, Ursula, because like she's kind of nutty.
It's Trevor like that.
See, it's funny. I didn't even like know about that until after I finished the game. And I was like,
Oh,
I was calling all my contacts to like
shit.
see if there's anything more. And then like she answered, and he's like, "So you want to meet up for some?" I was like, "What?" I did like not know he explicitly had someone on his like contact list on his cell phone, just like have a booty call with. I was like, "That's hilarious." That was great.
Because like I was like, we were talking to her. I was like, can I have sex with this woman? You think? And it worked. It worked. I was like, oh, so overjoyed. But yeah.
Trevor, so fun.
It just kind of sucks. Like still you can't really show sex in the game, but they showed it sometimes in the cutscenes. But like you can't really because like when you go to a strip
I'm pretty
club.
sure that would be like AO if they had sex in the game.
No, just like love making scenes. You know, put a like a blanket over it or something.
But they
I
have
don't-
like, but they kind of had like stuff that was like even beyond that with like the part
Well,
where
it
you
was
take
like
that one
the
picture photo
paparazzi
thing.
one. Yeah,
Wait, what?
There's
paparazzi.
yeah,
Oh, the paparazzi. Yeah,
the
yeah.
paparazzi scene. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed that, but you yourself kind of interact. Do
Gamer.
except with the prostitute in your car, but you can't go like because like uh, when you increase the meter in the strip club with a stripper, you could take her home. You could take certain strippers home because I tried with Trevor. It's like the stripper's like, nope, I don't do that. It's like, wow, really? Stripper? Oh wow, they have a code of ethics, but like, there's certain strippers like because I was Franklin because he's much better looking than Trevor. Maybe that's why. But they were like, they're like, okay, come home with me. Then I thought, oh my god, they're finally gonna show a sex scene in the game, but no, they didn't. It's still like that overhead. They look over the apartment, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of weird, but I'm okay with it because they show you because like after the deed, the girl will text you a photo of her like semi-naked, like
Oh,
oh.
yeah.
But it's I want to keep those pics, but like the email deletes older emails as new ones come in, so it's like you can't keep all the pictures. Like shit.
Collection. See, I wonder what that's gonna be like when they enable that, or I don't know. Can you do it online already?
Which one?
The strip clubs.
Oh yeah,
like,
you could do it
oh.
online. Yeah, you could do those online, but you have to finish the tutorial before it unlocks, I think, or you reach a certain early level. Because I know I unlocked it like I was like level 5, I think. I don't know. Because that's one of the things that's weird about online. Is like as you increase levels, activities will start to unlock in the open world. So that's kind of weird. Because like when you first come off the tutorial, you don't have access to like to tennis, to golf. So things get unlocked. And it's online is weird because they have more clothing options than you have in single player. Like you have a ton of like glasses to choose from.
Gamer, when you're selling microtransactions.
But the only
things to spend that money
microtransaction
on.
is cash, is money in online, which they disabled because people are
Working.
losing their characters. But yeah, man, Grand Theft Auto's, and I think they're built upon technology from what they had before, like natural motion and all that. It's like so refined here. Like when I punch a person in Grand Theft Auto 5, it feels good.
Yeah.
Like you feel it, and they're like, "Yeah, I got you." You do the uppercut on a woman, it's like, "Oh, wow." That's cool. Oh,
Actually,
man.
I forgot. I wanted to mention that like during the Beyond Two Souls talk was like how there's all this stuff about the like GTA being all like misogynistic, blah blah blah. But then like the next week or 2 weeks after, or however many weeks it's been, you have Beyond Two Souls come out with like Ellen Page and as a strong female character lead. So that's interesting.
Is she strong because I can't get that from the story?
Shut up, gamer. Whatever. Like, in my mind, she is. From my playthrough, she was. So yeah. I don't know about yours. Well, you haven't finished. Never mind. You haven't finished.
Yeah, I
the
haven't
episode.
finished it.
But she does a lot of cool stuff.
Did you play the GameStop DLC?
Yeah, I put it up on YouTube.
Where does it appear in the game?
It's non-canon. It's basically just like this.
No, like as you're playing the game, where does it appear?
Oh, it's in the.
Do you know?
It's in the downloadable content menu.
Oh, you have to access it through there. It's not just something within the story.
Yeah, it's not within the story.
Oh,
It's basically just like a training thingy
man,
session.
now I regret getting a GameStop order because I bought it from GameStop online because I don't want to go to a store. And then like I saw the reports coming in like, oh, the advanced DLC is only like kind of short. It's like some people say 30, but some person said he finished it in 10. They're like, oh shit. Then like the soundtrack, it's not a soundtrack, it's a soundtrack sampler. It's like only has 4 tracks.
Aww.
I haven't installed that yet.
So I'm like, why did I spend another $60 for?
Yeah, it's funny because like PS4 is like, oh man, I'm gonna just get all my games digitally and then blah blah blah. But then it's like, thinking about how big the games are on PS4, I'm not sure if that's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be a solution for me. After all, sad face.
One more month, guys.
I know.
I know. Insane. Cannot wait. I hope they have the different color DualShock 4s, like, initially. I don't think so, because they're not... You can't order them from anywhere right now.
Oh, really?
Because the red one looks so cool! Although, you know,
Okay,
if you
we're
think
back.
about
Let's
it,
take it busy.
besides indies, there aren't really any games that would even use two controllers.
Oh, did you see? Oh, like remember we were talking about NBA 2K? Did you see the TV spot? Holy shit, that looks good. Man,
Jerseys.
I think. Oh man, I think I'm gonna pick it up when I buy the PS4. So
I'm
many
gonna have
games.
to pace myself. Go slow.
And the thing, oh man, I'm so like after GTA 5, I'm on the fence with Watch Dogs because like Watch Dogs, all they've been showing are the missions where you have to infiltrate the building.
Mm,
They haven't shown anything else outside that except for like the random missions that happen, but they never showed any of the main. Hopefully they're good. I mean,
Yes.
I think they showed one in.
Oh, I forgot to talk about how the Wolf Among Us comes out Friday. It's already pre-ordered on Steam.
ah.
I was like, oh,
For
dude.
PC, right?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh yes, cannot wait. Like, I'll be playing that day one.
Are they doing the choices thing where it goes to the next?
Probably. Because it was so
episode?
successful.
I'm assuming so. There's an interview up on Rev 3 with the creators, but I haven't watched it because I don't want to have anything spoiled. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna play on when it comes
It's
out.
like that's worrying because like I still remember all those issues with Walking Dead PC where like people are just losing their save file when they go to the next episode. So I don't know.
Well, it's funny because like we've been saying Telltale gets better with every release, so it's like you'd think they have it ironed out by now. It's where it's not
It looks
issue.
good though. Jeez. I think it looks better than The Walking Dead.
Yeah, graphically.
Just the style, yeah.
Okay. I gotta head out. Stuff to do.
Bye, Tropical.
See you.
Hopefully you'll hate Beyond.
But he probably won't. So. Guess I will end the stream now as I'm editing the podcast, and then upload it and hope I don't go over my bandwidth cap.
You won't. So let's talk about Beyond since Tropical's not here. Up to the point I'm at.